Oh. Oh,
wow. Yeah. Wow.
Live now.
We're live now. Okay.
Right
now. Okay. All right.
Hey, man.
I switched
Hello,
it.
everybody. Welcome back. Yeah, you did. Look at these borders around us. Wow. Look at these QR codes. Wow.
Yeah.
This is a brand new day.
I know. So, yeah, I once again have tinkered and fucked around with the already tried and true, layout that we have. It already has worked. Everyone's always been happy with it. And I fucked with it again. So
you even fucked around with your appearance again. You got a mustache now.
Everything's different. Now it's just mustache, no beard.
I love this.
Yeah,
I love this look. I was just admiring. I was watching Deadwood last night and looking at Timothy Oliphant in there, and I was like, should I just go mustache alone? That's kind of a good look. But you're way ahead of me, man. You already claimed it. Now I can't do it because you're doing it.
No, you should totally
I'll have to wait my turn until you switch it up again. But knowing you, probably won't take that long for you to switch it up. Right?
Yeah, no, it definitely won't. Beard will be back really soon, but yeah, I'm Emilio's in the chat. Great
Emilio's
mustache,
a fan
Nate.
of it.
You pulled it off well. Thank you. I've actually it's always been there, really. It's just now it's emphasized.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
because the beard has been tamed.
Giving it contrast.
Exactly.
Well, welcome everybody to Black Market Live. We're back after a week off.
Mm-hmm.
We missed you. I missed you a lot.
Yeah.
Missed you, Nate.
I
missed you, fam. Black Market Live fam. Deadwood. Exactly, Andy. What a series. What else can you say? Deadwood.
Yep, exactly.
We'll talk more about Deadwood later. Because this is the show where we talk music production and reggae and recording and just music in general. And also we talk a lot about TV. We talk a lot about Star Trek.
And movies. Yeah,
movies
too. Come up a lot.
Probably going to be talking about Deadwood. Have you seen Deadwood, Nate?
I actually have never have. I would love to.
Okay, well then we probably won't talk that much about it then.
Nate's
Takes
lip
two to tango.
slug. Nate's lip slug. That's what
Ew.
fucking Andy just called my mustache. Thanks, Andy.
It's like ooh.
As long as no one calls it a scum stash. A scum stash was like, that was the fucking ultimate just like slam in like junior high. If you tried to roll into like fucking, fourth period and you got your new stash growing out and someone's like,
a few hairs.
fucking scum stash. It's like, go home in shame, shave that shit,
Yeah.
get rid of it. So I'll take lip slug over scum stash. That's fine. Anyway, you were saying we have a show or something?
Yeah, Black Market Live. I'm Wise Owl, Brandon Nisnik, Los
Yep.
Angeles. That's Nate Bridges, Black Market himself right there. The man,
What
the
up?
legend over there in Nashville, Tennessee.
What up? Yep.
So, what up indeed, Nate? We weren't here last week, so now we've got like basically 2 shows worth of material for today.
We do, which is great for us because usually we have like half a show's worth.
Half a show's worth of material, yes, per show. Yep.
Yeah. So today we got mailbag shit. We got something really cool that Groove
nice.
Strangers sent us that I actually haven't shared with Brandon yet. I'm really excited. I'm talking with him a bit on the Bandcamp side about it right now. Really excited to share that. It's super cool. We're doing double the music viewer submissions today because last week we're trying to do 2 a week and last week we were gone, so we're gonna do 4 today.
Yeah.
All of which
you guys don't need to suffer because we took a week off.
Yeah,
you got to
no.
keep featuring your music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All of which are in the description of the video. So if you check in the description of the video wherever you're watching, you get all the links to all the songs we're going to play on the show today. So be sure to check those out. Follow them on Tidal, Spotify, Bandcamp, wherever.
Tidal.
I
know you're a big Tidal user.
I'm going to push Tidal because
Tidal.
it's literally better. It really is better.
Really, is it?
Dude, the
I've
quality.
only ever heard people being sarcastic about it.
I
Or
know,
being
and
ironic about it.
I know, and I kind of got that for a long time. I was like, yeah, what the fuck's who cares? What the fuck's title? I'll just have Spotify. But the
Yeah, what's the
audio,
lowdown?
well, you have to pay. You have to. Here's the shitty thing about title. You have to pay a lot more than Spotify to get the full benefits of using the platform, in my opinion.
You got to
So
pay into it if you're an artist on it. You got to.
I think I don't know about that. I don't know anything about the artist stuff. I know they pay out artists a little better than Spotify does.
Oh, you mean like just to listen?
Yeah,
To
as
be
a
customer,
listener.
you need to pay more than Spotify. I see. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
if you want the top tier title
Okay.
subscription, like the Super Pro Master Audiophile shit, it costs a lot more money than Spotify does. But
I see.
it is literally like I listen to I all this past year I've been listening to tons of records on Spotify, right? And stuff like went through a huge like Pink Floyd craze. If any of you guys remember around December, we talked about that a whole bunch.
Right.
And I was getting really deep into their albums for the first time since like high school. And then the whole Neil Young Spotify shit happened, and I was like, you know what? I do really enjoy listening to Neil Young whenever I want. So that is like an actual, like for me, I'm like, I actually would go to a different platform because I listen to Neil Young all the time. He's one of my favorite artists. And it was bumming me out. I couldn't listen to fucking Harvest or Tonight's the Night or any of his shit. So I thought, okay, I'm at least going to check out other platforms. I checked out Tidal, and they have like a master audiophile tier that you can subscribe to. And it's like records I've listened to 1,000 times. I'm actually hearing little nuances, little details, little differences like that I've never ever noticed before. It has blown me away. I'm a total convert. I totally get it. For me, as someone who's really into just as high quality shit as possible,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. It's
Some people are really, really into that.
I really-
Audiophiles, they're called.
Yes.
You are called.
Yes.
So it's Spotify for audiophiles.
Pretty much. And
Spotifyles.
Spotifyles sounds too much like another word that'll probably get the stream banned. Spotifyles.
My morning brain can't think of what word you're talking about, but don't say it if it'll get us banned.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Just write it on a piece of paper and slide it over to me, and then I'll. Oh my gosh!
No. So other cool things we've got on the show that you might notice. If you look on the center of the screen there, you'll see a little thing. Somebody sent us some money, and the way you can do that is these little QR codes. Wow, I'm doing a great job explaining this already. So basically, those QR codes go directly to our PayPal account, and if you point your phone at those QR codes, or if you get in the description of the video, you can click the link for our PayPal directly. You can send us a tip on the stream. So you can send us a buck or two if you want. Or I even did a test. I could send myself 1 penny. So even if you want to be really cheap and send us a penny, you can do that.
That means you got to split it with me.
I
penny.
would. I would.
Yeah, you would.
And if you do, the little notification will pop up on the screen and it'll show how much you donated. So if you guys are feeling generous and you want to donate to the stream and help us keep doing this every week,
Oh, nice.
go down to those little QR codes and send us a buck or two if you'd like.
Yeah. And thanks, you guys, in advance for your support. And
Yes.
thank you for all the support that you have been giving us and do give us.
Absolutely.
It's amazing, man. Can't do it without you.
Yeah. So, yeah. Sorry we were gone last week, but we had kind of a really great reason for being gone. And chiefly being our own baby boy, Wise Owl, got a gig engineering at Capitol Studios, my former place of work, my former home away from home, Capitol Studios. Fucking Brandon got a gig engineering a session there. Like, I'm so goddamn proud of you and so stoked that you got to do that. Like, what a cool experience that must have been.
Very surreal, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I mean, we were on track as always to have our stream last week, and just out of the blue got a call from our teacher and mentor who we've talked about so many times before, Brian Wallace.
Yep.
Put my hat in the ring for a certain engineering gig, and and it the first of the 2 days of this session was during the time that we would be streaming.
Yeah.
And but this is really like I realized that I had been calling it a once in a lifetime opportunity, but then I realized that if I keep calling it that, it might only happen once in my lifetime. and what I would like it to ideally be is like become a new normal phenomenon rather than, but so far once in a lifetime opportunity. To engineer not just any session, but like a dope, real reggae, deep reggae session.
Yeah.
At Capitol Studios. So Capitol Studios is the recording studios that are in the Capitol Records building in Hollywood, right in the middle of Hollywood. That big white building that looks like a stack of records stacked up. I meant that's what it's supposed to look like, right? The idea.
I've always thought it looked more like reels of tape stacked up, more so than records. But I think either way, I think people would kind of get that.
It does look more like that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so Nate, when we lived together in Los Angeles, you worked there. You worked as an assistant engineer there, right?
I did.
So what's like the short version? Because the history of these recording studios is so significant in, Western music history. Like what's the short, like easy way to say like the history of the studios? It's been hard for me to like explain why this matters.
Sure. No,
that I was working there.
I can definitely do that. So Capitol Studios was built on the back. It was built by Capitol Records. It was originally like a subsidiary of Capitol Records. Now they're slightly different, but they're in the same building. But basically, Capitol Records was recording Frank Sinatra and Nat King Cole and all these legends from back then, and they wanted an in-house studio, as far as I understand, and they built this building as their headquarters for their record label, and as like Frank Sinatra's like house, like Studio B is like Frank's. Like I don't know if you saw the lounge above Studio B, which actually has tie lines up there, so people record up there all the time.
Yes.
That was like the Sinatra like lounge. He would like go up there. He would like go up there.
Okay, the whole time. So we worked in Studio B. The whole time I thought the Frank Sinatra studio was Studio A.
Oh, it was both. I mean, he was in both all the time. I think probably people associate A more with Sinatra because A is so much bigger and it's so much more conducive to orchestra stuff. So he was definitely in there as well a lot, and I've seen pictures of him in there as well. But I know for a fact that Studio B, he spent quite as much or more time in Studio B as he did in Studio A.
Oh my God. Okay, so we were in Studio B. What sorts of things that people know have been recorded in Studio B?
Pet Sounds was recorded.
What?
Parts of Pet Sounds was
I didn't
recorded.
know that.
Yeah, parts of Pet Sounds, parts of the Basement tapes. They did overdubs for some of the Basement tapes in Studio B. While I was there, John Mayer's album, John Legend was recorded in there. It's easier for me to I always tell people it's easier for me to say all the people who haven't been there than the people who've been there.
It's one of those places. Yeah.
I was in a session where Bob Dylan recorded in Studio B while I was there. I got to go adjust his microphone like to his face. Like it was fucking insane.
Wow.
So Bob Dylan, he recorded a bunch of albums there too. All of his recent work that's like Sinatra-esque stuff from the last like decade or so. All that was recorded in Studio B with Al Schmidt, who was one of Sinatra's engineers for a really long time, and engineered a million other things.
The people were talking when we were there that they had seen photos of Bob Marley and Peter Tosh being in Studio B when they came to LA. Like, I guess it's in the same trip when they played at the Roxy in Hollywood and stuff like that.
I didn't know that. That's fucking really cool if that's true. It wouldn't surprise me at all, because when you walk into Capitol, they have all they have this long hallway you walk down, and it's just covered in photos of artists who recorded in Studio B and Studio A. But yeah, man, I mean, it's like, I almost get kind of like flustered trying to name everybody who's been in there, because it's like fucking everyone, dude. It's everyone. That console, I don't know if you noticed that Neve console, the signatures on that console. I mean, you're talking like Al Schmidt, Alan Parsons, Eddie Kramer, fucking Ed Cherney, like just the greatest engineers who have ever lived have worked on that board. And you.
Oh, I noticed. Well. Yeah. Now I have, and I did a dub on that console. Okay, so one of the coolest things about Studio B, where we were recording, is this console. So it's a Neve 8068, right?
Yeah.
And it's one of the assistants was telling me that it's one of 3 Neve consoles that has never been moved from the original place where it was installed.
Whoa. That's amazing. I didn't know that.
It's like a legendary console, and it's been there since it was installed. I think they said 75,
something like that. Yeah,
76, something like that. So I hope that just for my own bragging rights, that I did that the first live dub ever to be done, reggae dub ever to be done on that console. Maybe. But then after that, they told me that Bob Marley and Peter Tosh were there, and I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe somebody dubbed during that session.
Very well could have. But yeah, I mean, that console is so cool because it's a classic Neve console that has so much history to it, but they've also managed to update it. It has flying faders, which, for those of you that don't know, if you've seen my console here. My console's way more recently made. It's much newer than that Neve. It was made like 10 years ago, as opposed to the Neve that was made in the 70s. But for, as a new console, you would imagine this has automated faders. So if I do something in my computer, the physical fader on my console will follow those movements on the board.
It's got a little motor in there.
It does, yeah. It has little motorized flying faders. And consoles like the console in Studio B, the Neve there, it's older. It's way before that. It was before computers, so it was way before there was a need for that. And they've managed to implement a flying fader system into that console. So it is truly like the best of both worlds. You get the classic Neve like analog sound. And you get all the benefits, to my mind, of a more flexible console like the one they have in Studio A.
I saw the guy that they have in house there at the studio, who's like the gear doctor, So like,
so like the tech guy.
One of my favorite parts about working in the studio is just all of the gear that's in there, all the stuff
I saw
that we have. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I saw you were using the Fairchild compressors for. I could almost imagine Wallace would have insisted, like, put my horn through the Fairchild.
he would have if he knew. I just went ahead and did it.
Nice.
I just did it, and then told him on the talkback mic. So Brian Wallace was playing saxophone in the session, because only the best on every instrument.
Exactly.
Cats running around. Yeah, cats are chasing each other. But all the gear that is in this place, like we have plugins. I mean, guys like us, what we consider to be upgrading our studios is getting like more expensive digital plugins that emulate these pieces of classic gear.
Right.
If I can get a better quality digital emulation of this thing, that's a step up for me. So I got to use for the first time in my life like just this full arsenal of all of the original shit. Compressor, Fairchilds, 1176s, LA2As, the Pultec EQs. Oh my God, dude. And, but one of the coolest things about this studio is not just that they have it, but they have like the gear doctor there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Andy. $4
Andy.
tip from Andy. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you. Andy also says $4 for Nate's lip slug upkeep. Thank you, lads. Thank you, Andy.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
You can only spend that on mustache oils
Mustache
and a nice little
wax.
comb.
Yeah.
$4 for a little comb and wax for Nate. Thank you.
Thanks, Andy. Appreciate that, man.
Which it's for the stream.
Yeah.
So there's the gear doctor, right? Who is like one of the dudes who like originally built the Neve console, right? Mm-hmm. And he's walking around in a white lab coat.
Shut up. Wait, did you catch his name? Who was it?
Ira told me his name afterward.
Okay.
And it's like it's the original guy. He said that they originally started. Hello, Alex. Hello, guys. Glad to wake you up just in time to catch you guys. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Glad you're here, Alex. Welcome.
Thanks for
We're just
hitting us
talking
up,
about
Alex.
Capitol Studios.
Yeah, and we are playing one of your tunes today, Alex. So thank you for... Yes, we are. Wow. I'm glad I said that before I confirmed it. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Alex. We're going to play one of your songs in just a bit.
Man, I could talk about this all day long.
We can,
but
why not?
But yeah, the assistant engineers Ira and Tommy were there. Tommy, friend of the show. So this is crazy. So I didn't even know this going in. So I got to, have thank God these guys were there. I got to have the blessing and the wind beneath my wings of two of the in-house assistant engineers who worked there, which is exactly what you did.
Mm-hmm. Both of both former coworkers of mine, great dudes, Ira Graylack and Tommy Hassanius.
Yes. And so I didn't realize that I was going into this. It was Tommy's music who we listened to and featured that like desert rock, stoner rock, like amazing album that we were listening to last time.
I could have swore I tried to make
blown away by.
I thought I made that clear that Tommy was my guy at Capitol that I know.
You did.
I just put it together. Didn't realize.
Well, I just didn't realize that I was gonna be working with him.
Right.
When I went there, I don't know. It, like when you've never been there,
right.
It's hard to plug it into the reality if it's just like this theoretical place.
Right. And you had a lot to think about, so it makes sense.
Yes. I was so nervous going in. So Ira and Tommy, thanks again, you guys. I mean, I was blown away at how good you guys are, the assistant engineers, and can't do it without the assistants. And the band was Soul Syndicate.
Oh, that's so cool.
So this is the other amazing... Dude, there's so many amazing people there. Got to work with Zach Starkey, who's the drummer of The Who.
Also...
the son of Ringo Starr. I got to work with Zach, with Shush, with Wayne Jobson, who's like great reggae producer, and Soul Syndicate.
Yeah.
So one of the main 4 Jamaican backing bands.
I'm just realizing my
from the
face
golden era of reggae.
My face is starting to hurt from smiling.
Dude, I know. So Santa Davis playing drums, Fully Fullwood on bass, Tony Chin playing guitar. Like, these are the dudes who I've been watching videos, listening to records of theirs since I was a teenager.
Yep.
Just trying my best to copy them, learn how to play reggae from them, Like, I'll listen to these records that they've been making since like the mid-'70s in Jamaica. There they are. I'm recording them. And dude, there's this moment. So one of the main things for this session that we wanted to do is we wanted to emulate this particular drum sound from a classic reggae record for the song that we were doing. Mm-hmm. And so me and Santa are in there like talking about how to tune the snare drum and everything. And there's this moment where like he comes into the control room, and he's saying something like oh, I can't like tune it any farther this way or something like that. And I said something to him like, I don't know, man. I think if you do this and then we like put the towel over it like in this way, I think we're gonna nail it. And he's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, definitely. Damn. He's like, all right, fine. And he leaves. And it's me and Ira and Tommy standing in there. And he leaves the room, and I'm like, did I just tell Santa Davis what to do with his drums? Like, how the fuck did I end up here in life? How did I get into this moment?
I was literally about to say, like, that's bold, man.
Like, whoa. Santa just, like, asked me what to do, and I told him, do this. And he's like, okay.
You're like, Santa, trust me. I've listened to all your records like 1,000 times.
I know more about how to get your drums to sound good than you do.
Yeah.
Santa. No.
Also,
Santa
should we explain who Santa
cool,
Davis is?
So nice.
He's one of like the OG like top fucking reggae drummers of all time. Like,
yeah.
He's
right.
Like, we have talked about trying to hire him for Black Market Loops because he's so legit. He's one of the greatest reggae drummers still alive for sure from back then.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, like him, Carlton Barrett.
Yep.
Sly, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like one of the three greatest reggae drummers of all time. And yeah, he's still rocking, fully Fullwood. One of my idols on bass, Tony Chin playing guitar, dude.
Dude, Tony Chin's so cool too.
Oh my God. It was insane. It was insane. It was insane. It was insane. It was surreal the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So happy for you.
I couldn't wait to share it with you guys. Also, the whole time was like, I can't wait to tell everybody on the stream about this.
Brandon.
Wish you guys were there. Thank you. Thank you. You guys were there with me in spirit.
Yeah.
I was like, this is one for the black market community right here.
It's pretty huge, man. I mean, when I was there, got to be a part of a very similar session. It was the same group of people.
Soul Syndicate was, shit.
It was Fully and Tony Chin were there. But the drummer was, I'm forgetting his name off the top of my head, but it was the drummer for the Agrolites self-titled, Scotty Abels.
Scott Abels.
Yeah, Scott Abels was the drummer. And instead of our very own...
he's one of the best American reggae drummers.
He's incredible. Yeah, and also very, very nice. Really personable guy, really cool.
Yes.
Such a great drummer. And we had Brian Dixon of the Agrolites Engineering, and it was in Studio A instead of Studio B. I told you and Wallace, like, I'm so glad you guys got Studio B for your project, because Studio A is amazing, but it's what, 40, 50 foot ceilings, and it's like,
it's meant for like recording orchestras.
It's meant for recording orchestras,
which we will see a little bit of later.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, and yeah, it's a huge room. So I remember when they were there last time when I was working there, like, we kind of had to do a lot to make it sound less big. Like I remember Brian Dixon, you know, he specifically, we put the drummer up against the wall. We opened up the baffles so that there were no reflections. We goboed around the drums a bunch. And he used just the mic technique he used. He did like the full on like classic Agrolites like drum sound setup for those drums, and it was just all like dynamic mics, all black microphones, barely any condensers or tubes or anything like that.
Wow.
And
that's not how we did ours.
Yeah, I'd be very curious to hear how you guys did yours. But yeah, I wound up kind of. I remember just thinking while we were there, like, you know, this whole thing would be more conducive to Studio B. So I was really happy to hear you guys got Studio B. So I am curious. So how did the miking of the drums go? How did the setting up the mics go? How much input in that did you have? Did you do like an input sheet, or did you kind of let them kind of help you pick stuff out, or what was that all like? What was some of your favorite like mics or gear that you got to use? So
the number one rule that I've learned in this business so far is that success happens in preparation.
Yes.
In all the work that happens before the session, before any single musician or producer or anybody arrives at the studio. How tight your stuff is and how well everything is already put together and how prepared you are before the first member of the band or producer arrives, that's how good your session is going to be.
Absolutely.
So, and you know that too, and so do Ira and Tommy.
So they had it.
the
I
guys working
imagine they had the room all set up and ready to go for you when you got there.
Yeah, so
It was
I
blocked
talked
out. Mics were up.
I talked on the phone with Ira either the day before or 2 days before even.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about everything. And one of the big things that I was telling him is that I've never worked there before. And so Ira was amazing. He gave me full freedom to make every decision about what microphones to use and how to record each and every instrument, how to set up the room, how to arrange the musicians around the room and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Full freedom to do that. But right away, I explained to him I've never been there before. I've never worked in that studio, in that space. And that given what kind of a studio they are, the level of given that they are Capitol Studios, they probably have a bunch of microphones that I wouldn't even know to ask for.
Yes, they definitely do.
And they definitely do.
Yeah.
And how many of them they have that I wouldn't even know to ask for. You know, like I'm used to like a studio maybe has one or two U67.
And they have
microphones.
About 20?
Yes.
20. And for
in
reference,
like perfect working order.
Yes, they're maintained. They're constantly being fixed and updated and just kept in fantastic shape. They're kept in anti-static bags. They have their own little, like every mic has its own like little cubby where it goes. Like they're very meticulously looked after and cared for. And that's because they're original Neumann U67 microphones from the 60s. And for any of you, and there's 20 of them about, I don't know exactly. I can't remember exactly.
That might be the most mind-blowing part, is that they
Yes.
have 20 of them.
Yeah, it might be like 15 actually, but it's between 15 and 20, I remember.
Still, more than one is
Yes.
insane.
Because one...
Having one is insane.
Because one from back then, how much would you imagine they go for? Like
probably $25,000 for one.
$25,000 for sure. And I always say this to people, so they have all those U67s. They also have a bunch of U48s and U47s, which are kind of the predecessor microphones to the U67, which are famously vocal mics that are used by everybody who comes through Capitol.
The Sinatra mic.
The Sinatra mic, yeah, which is great. So I always say to people that when I would give tours there and stuff, the thing that blew my mind about those microphones is, okay, here's the level of how much you have to imagine a piece of equipment like this could possibly be worth, and why it's priceless. It's literally priceless. You cannot put a price on it. So first of all, let's say you've got an original U48 microphone, okay, or U47 microphone, okay. That right there, probably $50,000, $40,000, $30,000, somewhere in there, right? Super. I haven't looked up the prices of them in a while, but they're multiple thousands of dollars, like dozens of thousands of dollars, like super expensive, right?
Yes.
Then you have to take into consideration that not only is it an original one, it's in pristine working condition, right? So that ups the price again. Then you have to take into consideration it's Capitol.
Dude, that doubles it for gear.
Yeah.
That is that classic.
Yep.
Like it being like rusted and hardly
Shitty.
working or even not working is already extremely expensive. But when you say like pristine working order, that more than doubles the value of it.
Yeah. And then
it's that old.
And then you take into consideration that not only that, it's Capitols, right? So that adds to it. This particular
That's where it
microphone
goes into the realm of being priceless.
Priceless, like $1 million microphone stuff. Like, And not only is it capitals, it's not like they just used it to record timpani. They used it to record Frank Sinatra, and they used it to record Adele, and they use it to record Bob Dylan and Neil Young and fucking every incredible artist, Nat King Cole. Like every incredible artist.
We had Nat King Cole, the piano that Nat King Cole used to use.
Yep.
But that was the piano that we used in the session. Tony Chin was like over the moon about that. He's like huge Nat King Cole fan. The whole time Tony Chin was like, I can't believe that I'm here.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm in this room.
And that piano is just, you don't have to ask special permission to use it. You don't have to like, you don't have to do anything special to use that piano. That is the piano that comes with the room in Studio B. It's just in there all the time. Like you could, dude, you know how many times I've just sat down at that piano and just fucking dicked around on it? All the assistants do. Tommy,
it was funny
everybody does.
Because we didn't want it. Because we're doing a reggae song.
Yeah, totally.
You
want an upright or something,
right? Exactly. We're like, do you have an upright piano? Like, no, they don't have an upright piano there.
No, they don't.
Like,
which I always thought was silly.
Okay,
but
it's weird.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's kind of weird. The things that they don't have there.
Yeah,
were surprising, and that was the first one.
Yeah,
no upright piano.
Yeah.
It's
and
like,
I never saw a lot of uprights come through. Like people didn't bring them in or rent them very often. It was always, you just say, "This is Nat King Cole's piano," and they'd be like, "All right, fine, we'll find out." Obviously, we want to use that. Like, why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
So I asked Ira to. There were a couple little things that I knew that I wanted to do specifically. I can't really remember now off the top of my head what they were.
Well, I wanted to bring up because you told me before the stream started that so last week, I don't know if you guys noticed or were paying attention on the YouTube channel, we dropped a new video series where Brandon kind of narrates some of his mix sessions, and we've kind of pulled clips for certain things from those mix sessions that he's been filming. Little samples, yeah. And last week we put out the first one, and it was on the Pultec trick for the Pultec EQ plugin that you have. And you were telling me before the stream that you actually got to use a Pultec for the first time.
Yeah. So
in real life,
for years I've been using a plug-in version of a Pultec EQ. This classic EQ unit. Mm-hmm. It's a physical thing, classic gear, but like most people of our generation, I've never touched a real one in my entire life. I've only ever used plug-in versions of it, right? Mm-hmm. But there's this like way of dialing it in where you get this great sound out of it, and basically all the people who make the plug-in version have copied that and made the plug-in version do the same thing that the hardware does, right? This little trick that you do with it. So like the next day after you posted that video of me featuring that trick was the first day
so funny
that I have ever used a Pultec EQ, a real one. And so I'm like, of course I have to. So I did the Pultec trick, the low end trick on the kick drum and on the bass. Yeah. On Foley's bass. And dude, it sounded so effing good, man.
Yeah.
I wish all you guys could have been there. Wish you could have been there.
I wish I could have been there.
Because to hear what it sounds like in that room too, in the control room. So like, there's so much that contributes to the sound. Okay, the room itself that it's in, the actual physical construction of the space where the musicians are, the microphones like Nate was talking about, the console that this goes into, then all the outboard gear, all the compressors and these EQs, everything that the sound is passing through is just like pristine, the top of the top of the top of the top.
Dream gear. Yeah. Like a one microphone chain could be, if like let's take Wallace's microphone chain. What mic did Wallace have on his sax? Was it a 67?
67.
Yeah, so you got a 67.
Neumann U67 going through the Neve console, going through Fairchild, one side of a Fairchild 670.
Yeah.
Compressor.
Which, again, for those of you that don't know, Fairchild 670 is a stereo compressor. There's a 660, which is the mono as well. Capital has a bunch of both. They're $50,000-$60,000 compressors from like the 50s, I think, 40s and 50s.
Right. Yeah, I mean, even amongst recording enthusiasts who have the budget and would like to buy one, it's challenging just simply because of how few of them are for sale in the world.
There's few of them. They're expensive as fuck, and you have to maintain. There's 20 tubes in a Fairchild, so you have to know.
Good luck.
Good luck, exactly. You have to know how to maintain something like that. And Capital, like you said, they have people on staff that know how to do that, and that maintain those all the time. So you're talking about like a $250,000 microphone chain for Wallace,
just for the saxophone. Yeah.
And then you've got the $1 million man himself, Brian Wallace, playing sax. So
right, exactly. So yeah, like it was very much it was a crazy feeling because every piece of gear that I was using could be right now can be in a museum.
Yes.
It actually like is appropriate for this to be in a museum. It's just that this stuff hasn't been decommissioned yet. Like once they stop using it, I would imagine, I don't know. One of the ways that it could go is, who knows, maybe they could hawk everything and just have a big ass sale and just sell the shit. Maybe that is what they'll do, but
they could.
It would be absolutely appropriate for when the day comes that they stop using all this stuff, it goes directly into a museum.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a pretty trippy feeling.
Yeah.
Like it felt like being actually flying through the air, like in the Wright brothers thing, like taking it out of the Smithsonian and like actually flying on it. Like, should we be doing this?
Yes.
Shouldn't we be keeping this thing safe?
Alex Simensky commented earlier, microphone heaven. It's just it's microphone heaven.
Microphone heaven.
It's outboard gear heaven. It's console heaven. It's room heaven. It's players heaven. It's instrument heaven. I mean, it's incredible. It is mind blowing how cool that place is. Like truly. So
very
okay,
blessed, very honored to be the one,
yes,
asked to engineer that session. So
I have one.
That's my capital story.
One more important question to ask you though about that.
Okay.
Did you use the chambers?
Oh yes. Okay. So that's the other thing is so Capitol Records, much like Abbey Road, has these chambers that are one of the famous aspects of the studio, like a nice little.
They didn't take you down
secret.
there, did they?
No, I didn't go there.
I would have insisted.
Next time.
Yeah.
When I'm back there with you next time.
Yeah.
But so they're these chambers underground, these big rooms underground that have a speaker and some microphones in them. And so all of the studios are patched to these various rooms. There's 8 of them, right?
8 chambers, yes.
I use chamber 8 a lot and chamber 2 a little bit.
Okay, interesting.
And so you can patch to any of them. And so you send to them like you're sending to a reverb, like how we usually do with a plug-in or with a spring like that.
Yep.
By the way, I brought my spring and I brought my tape delay and used them in the session because they didn't have a spring.
They don't have
reverb.
A spring there.
That's the other. Okay. But these chambers, and you just use them for reverb, and so the sound of your singer or your drums or whatever it is, it gets played in these speakers that are down there in the chamber and picked up by the microphones. And it's this beautiful, this beautiful reverb sound. It's hard to put your finger on. It's so subtle.
It's beautiful. Yeah, is the right word.
And like how we were talking before in previous episodes, but I keep pointing over here because it's right next to my camera here. The tape delay thing that I have, this spring reverb, like it's not. No one has been able to replicate it yet.
Yeah.
It has this sound to it, and the chambers were like that.
Yeah.
It's very hard to describe.
How did you decide on using
This
chambers
reverb.
2 and 8? Were the other ones in use in another session? Did Ira or Tommy recommend those specifically for certain reasons?
Ira chose them. So Ira, I believe, had chamber 8 already connected.
Yeah.
So, the first time that I asked, can I use one of the chambers? Because for me, it made no difference. I'd never heard any of them. I just said,
Right.
can I use one of the chambers? I've never heard any of the chambers before.
Right.
And he said, yes, there's one already connected. It was chamber 8.
Nice.
And then later on, I said, I need a second chamber. And I said, whichever one you want, but just one that sounds different than 8.
Okay.
And he said, okay. And so he picked.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. And what did you use chamber on?
One was for drums and one was for the guitar, piano, horns. And then I used 8 several times. I printed it several times. So one pass for drums, another pass for all the other instruments, and one pass for vocals.
So cool.
So it was the same chamber recorded several times to be used in a live dub.
Amazing. Wow. Well, I'm incredibly proud of you and happy and excited, and
Oh, thanks, man.
I'm beaming for you that you got to have that experience, especially because while I was working there, I worked there for 2 years, maybe a little more than 2 years, and I was living with Brandon for much of that time, and I don't think you really even got to go there and visit, right? You never got to go in, which
Nope.
always bummed me out because I tried as often as I could. It was hard to just have people come in because I was working.
Yeah, security's tight, man.
Security and
you're working.
yeah, and I was working. And I spent so much time there. It was very rare that I'd want to go back on my days off because if they saw me on my day off, they'd be like, "What are you doing? Start working." It's not your day off anymore.
But I'm not. Start working. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm thrilled that you got to have that experience, especially with Wallace and some of our favorite reggae musicians, and with fucking Zach Starkey, who's a total badass. It's an experience you'll never ever forget. I can absolutely promise you that.
Thanks, man. Yeah, and it was cool too to get to experience something that's part of your world like that too. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was very much like yet another connection to Nate.
Yes.
Experience also
Yeah,
for
you got
me.
to meet some of my Capitol homies from back in the day, like that are still there. Like I love it. I love
Yeah,
that.
just like spending all this time like in Nate's stomping grounds, like getting to be in your rooms where you spent so much time and everything. It was cool.
Yeah, I tried really hard to figure out a way to go out there and be there for the session, but I had prior work commitments here that I had to do at my studio. Our buddy Sam Small, friend of the show, who lives in LA, just got to Nashville, and he's here all this week. So I would have had to miss out on seeing Sam when he came all the way out here to hang out with me, and
Right.
and it would have been about at least $1,000, $1,200 or something to do it. And I couldn't swing it, but I really wanted to. I wanted to be there more than anything, and I wish I could have made it happen, but it'll happen again. It's not a once in a lifetime. You will get that gig
Not
again.
once in a lifetime.
Yeah, you will get that gig again. The people that get gigs working at Capitol and studios like that is a pretty short list, and you're on the list now. So,
Man.
yeah.
Yeah. That was another thing, man, of like, I can't believe I'm here. Cause right. Just to think of like the other people who do what I'm doing. I'm like,
Yep. Yeah, just look at the console. They all signed it. Well, they don't really let people sign it anymore because
No.
they've got the cream of the crop that have signed it.
Right,
And now,
yeah.
anybody who signs it now is like, you're just diluting
Like,
what's already
don't
there.
sign it. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
don't sign
Exactly.
it.
Don't sign it. If you go to Capitol Records and you go into Studio B and you see who signed that console,
Yeah.
don't sign it. Don't add your signature
Which
to it.
actually an amazing story about that. I I can't remember when, but it was like maybe 10, 15 years ago. A maid came through, saw the signatures, and started cleaning them off. And they had to actually call back some of the guys who signed it originally, who were still around, to re-sign it because
Oh,
she had
man.
scrubbed off some of their signatures. Like I know
Well-
Al Schmidt had to re-sign it. I think Eddie Kramer had to re-sign it. I can't remember who else.
I know because some of them put the year there,
Yeah.
and some of them were pretty recent years.
Totally.
I noticed. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's surprising.
Yeah.
But now there's a big old piece of plexiglass over it.
Oh, is there? They
Yeah.
talked about that for so long before I
Yeah.
got there. I'm actually glad they did that because
Yep.
it was like a problem. People would put their hands on it and fucking maids would wipe it off. It's just like, dude, this is a piece of history. You can't fucking touch this. Like,
Yeah.
so I guess, yeah, now officially there is a piece of Capitol that's a museum.
Yep. They museumized
The
it.
1/10 of the Neve board is now a museum. That's amazing, man. Well, seriously, man, I'm so happy for you. That's so cool. It's not going to be the last time. I can't wait to hear, next time you have a Capitol adventure. I have no doubt it'll happen again. Sounds like you made a good impression on everybody that works there too. So you'll get another call for sure.
Thanks, man.
Wow. And when do you? Well, you probably don't even know, but I hope at some point we'll get to hear this stuff too. That would be really, really cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the song that we worked on, once it comes out into the world, I will bring it to your attention, I'll show it to you guys, and be like, "This is that song that we were working."
Nice.
Yeah. And yeah, I have no idea
Fuck yeah.
when that will happen, but when it does, I'll show y'all.
Awesome. Wow. Well, that is just amazing and pretty unbelievable. I'm going to shift gears a little bit and do a mailbag really quick.
Yeah.
Got a cool mailbag to show today. Yeah. Mailbag. So mailbag today from our resident tech expert, friend of the show, early adopter of this program, Groove Stranger, aka Matt. He says, "Hey Nate, one of my little hobby things I like to do is glass etching. If you can send me artwork for Black Market and Wiseall logos, preferably vector art, I can hook you guys up with some shot glasses. You can see a couple other samples below." He sent us some shot glass images that we could use, or that he's done in the past.
Oh, that's cool.
And he says he can also do a combo shot glass with both of our logos. Lots of possibilities. I might even be able to do beer steins, which I'm very interested in.
You are a beer guy.
And he says, "Oh, if it wasn't clear, no charge. It's just for fun." So,
Oh, that's
dude,
nice.
Matt, you are the shit, man. And I'm as soon as the show's over, I'm gonna send Matt some vector art that he's requesting.
Oh, cool.
And at the very least, you and me will get some shot glasses. I don't know what the process would be to maybe making those available more widely. I think that's something we'd have to discuss with Matt. But obviously, that's not something...
Yeah, that would be a lot of etching.
It'd be a lot of work.
Especially
It'd be a lot.
You're right. I don't know how you do it. Like if you have to do each one by hand.
I'm not sure.
I know nothing about glass.
Yeah, me
etching,
neither.
but-
I'm not sure, but either way, if Matt was feeling up to it and wanted to do more for maybe other people to purchase, obviously I think we could just let all the money go to Matt for that, because
Right. Yeah. I was
we're
going to
not
say,
doing
like,
anything.
it could be a thing where, like, somebody wants a shot glass with
Yeah.
their logos on it. You know.
Yeah,
it'd be
go to
just like,
Matt.
Point them to Groove Stranger. You pay Matt.
Exactly.
Matt, Groove Stranger, whatever we're calling him.
Yeah. So at the very
Yeah.
least, hopefully, once we get Matt the materials he needs, me and Brandon will get some cool logo shot glasses, mugs, whatever. But it's to be seen if maybe Matt would be willing to make them available
Yes.
to more people. But I wouldn't count on it. It sounds like a lot of work, but I just wanted to give Groove Stranger a little shout out for that,
Oh,
because I
that's
think
awesome.
that's really, really cool. And then,
I would like to know more about glass etching also. Groove Strange, G Strange. If you feel up to I don't know, maybe writing in again or letting us know in the chat or something, like how is that done? Because the word etching, I imagine you have a tool and you etch like, how do you not break the glass?
Right. I don't know.
How are your hands not full of broken glass shards from the time when you were learning? Like, whoops, shattered another one in my hands. You know?
Yeah.
You reading Andy's?
Yeah, he just wrote.
Yeah.
So, or no, I wasn't reading Andy's. I was reading Groove Stranger. He just wrote, doing a couple is different than scaling up. I can do both, but doing a lot is not as fun as just doing a few customs. We can talk, though. So, probably just going to be for me and Brandon. Ha ha. But
we'll do shots
knows?
together with you guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He also says, I have a laser engraver, and you can mark the glass directly. That's super fucking cool. That's really, really interesting.
Okay. I want to see this. I want to see it in action. Video,
says,
please.
But the laser is slow, so it isn't good for doing lots and lots. Okay. So this is going to be, this is glass etching at a premium, folks, which is why me and Brandon are first in line, and you are not in the line.
Maybe you just got to jack up the price.
Yeah, maybe so.
You know?
But we'll talk to Groove Stranger more about that after the show. But yeah, I just wanted to give him a shout out because that's really cool. Also, yeah, what is
Sidewalk Candy says, hi chat, remember to smash the like button to say thanks to the lads for free.
Yeah.
Wait. Remember? Oh, I see. Remember to smash the like button to say thanks to the lads for free, and to show Nate how dope Nate's T-shirt is today.
Yeah. So
show us your shirt. What do you got?
So I'm a huge Batman nerd. I love Batman.
That's true. You are.
I saw the new Batman movie. Don't fucking say that it's not good, because it's amazing and I loved it.
All right,
which I think is not really a controversial opinion. I think everyone seemed to like it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say it's good.
But I got this shirt from I'm forgetting the name of the company. I'll put it in the description of the show afterwards, though, because it is really cool. But it's called Bruce and the Batman, live from Gotham City, and it's a band. And so there's a drummer, there's like bass player, guitar players, everybody. So the drummer is Robert Pattinson. The guitar player is Adam West. Ben Affleck looks like he might be playing bass. You got Michael Keaton on guitar as well. So it's like all the Batmen are like in a.
And who's the other one in front across from Michael Keaton?
So we got Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton, Pattinson, Christian Bale.
Oh, Christian Bale.
And then 60s Batman, Adam West.
No Kilmer.
Yeah, no Kilmer.
No
Kilmer.
Kilmer.
Or Clooney. Yeah.
No Clooney.
Major shade. And those were like our Batman from when we were kids.
Right, yeah.
Those like literally, like people talk all the time about like Christian Bale is better than fucking, Ben Affleck is better than Pattinson, blah, blah, blah. Dude, Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
Fucking Kilmer.
No Kilmer.
Don't show disrespect on his name like that. Don't even include him on the fucking Batman shirt. Come on. He could have been playing maracas or something. Whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, thanks for that, Andy. Appreciate that. But, yeah, like Andy said, like the stream and all that good stuff. Alex was going to mention Clooney. Speaking of Alex, let's do
music time.
Music time. Viewer submitted
listener music time.
Listening to music time. Putting Affleck and not Kilmer should be a hate crime to 90s kids.
Yeah, dude.
I agree, man. It's fucked up. It's fucking stupid.
Intense. That's an aggressive move.
I can see not doing Clooney, although, come on, Batman and Robin is, for all the wrong reasons, one of the most famous Batman movies because it's so bad. But it's still like okay, for instance, the day I went and saw the new Batman, I watched Batman Forever, the Val Kilmer one, because my girlfriend had never seen it, so we watched it, and it has the Riddler in it, and I was like, this will be a really funny comparison for you to compare Jim Carrey's Riddler to this like Zodiac killer fucking psychopath Paul Dano Riddler. That'll be
Dude,
a really,
I can't wait to see Paul Dano as the Riddler, man. I
it's
can't
so
wait.
good. It's actually a really scary movie. It's they treat Batman like a very scary character. It's really cool. It's literally like if you read, I read tons of Batman graphic novels. That's my favorite way to like ingest Batman, more so than the movies or anything like that. And it is really the closest live action Batman movie to just feeling like you're reading a graphic novel. Like that's really what it feels like.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Like he has it's super noir. So Batman has Pattinson. He does like a voiceover throughout the movie. Like it's like he's a detective.
Like
noir.
a graphic novel.
Exactly. So it really does feel. It feels like you're watching or reading a new graphic novel. It's really
that's dope.
Really cool.
I love that. And it's not directly based on one.
No.
Like on any existing novel, media, comic.
I think they've taken some ideas from various ones. Like I don't know if you're familiar with Hush.
No.
They've kind of fashioned.
The only ones I really know are The Dark Knight and The Killing Joke.
Oh, those are great. Yeah, those are the classics.
I think those are the only ones because I fucking love Alan Moore.
Yeah,
and
totally.
Frank, what's his name?
Frank,
as much
Frank
as
Miller. Yeah.
Frank Miller, a little bit.
Yeah,
I love Frank Miller a little bit.
Yeah. Honestly, me
fucking
too.
Obsessed with Alan Moore though.
Yeah, Alan Moore's amazing. Yeah. But yeah, super good movie. I would highly recommend it. Okay, so let's get to some fucking.
Alex says, I recorded them on tape as a kid.
That's
good
awesome.
times.
That's
Yeah, man.
fucking awesome. Okay. So let's do some music, shall we?
User submissions.
User submissions.
Created by me.
Yes. So yeah, like I said, I have Tidal. So a lot of people, if they send in stuff, if it's on Tidal, I'm going to add it to this playlist. We've got Alex is in the chat, so we might as well listen to that one first. Alex has this one's really interesting.
Can we do it with a video?
I was wondering
Sorry.
if we should. I just don't want to get.
through.
We might get flagged for playing the video.
Someone else's video. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a little worried
Right.
about that. So I think we should just do the audio. But I believe I linked the video in the description. So if you guys want to watch the video, you should.
Yeah, there's a really great video component to Knights of 82.
Yeah.
Check it out.
So Alex he has a really cool mashup, and I wanted to play it first because it's really in the spirit of what Black Market's all about, and that's all I'll say for now. Let's just give it a listen. It's called Knights of 82 by United Simensky Institutes. I hope I'm saying that right, Alex. Let me know if I'm not. So this is an orchestra, and he calls this song like this is like him collaborating with an orchestra because this is a real orchestra playing that he is putting his own music under. Super cool. It reminds me of if you guys are familiar with the Tanks Arcade stuff I did, it's kind of in that similar vein too, which is another reason why I really love this. Very like 80s outrun kind of sounds.
I'm all about this bass line.
So good.
It's a great bass line.
Super like simple but effective, just like driving drum beat. I love this kind of shit.
Yeah, boop, bop, boop, bop. Can you turn it up a little bit more?
Yeah.
A little bit? Thank you.
Sorry, it's loud for me, but if it's not loud for you guys, just
Okay.
say so.
You like split the difference.
Yeah.
Nice dog.
Okay. Very beautiful.
stuff happening at the top.
Alex, I'm so glad you're in the chat because me and Brandon have a lot of questions for you. Sounds like some cool, like buried, like 80s guitar.
Great reverb on the drums.
I was gonna say that too. Really like the reverb. It's beautifully incorporated because there are times here where I'm struggling to discern where orchestra parts end and Alex's additions begin. You know what I mean? Like they sound like they could be more intertwined than they probably are, which is really cool.
Nice little resolving chord there.
Beautiful resolve. Okay, that's the next song. Let's check out Alex's one more time while we talk about it. So yeah, Alex, like I said, I'm really glad you're in the chat. Sorry, give me 1 second here, guys. Because I would love to, I think me and Brandon both have some questions about the song. Brandon seems to think that, I am of the impression, because this is what I would do, that you found this orchestra recording and just kind of sampled it and then recorded your own parts under it. But Brandon is kind of curious. Like,
I think
did you have something to do with commissioning the orchestra to play?
I think you composed what the orchestra is playing and either got them or hired them to record this for your song.
That's the central question. Either way, super badass what you've done.
Yes.
I really, really enjoy it and I really love it. But yeah, I saw the video of the orchestra and I was like, holy shit. My first thought was like, is this Abbey Road? And Brandon thought it might have been Studio B.
It looked like Capitol to me.
It did, yeah. So it was a really cool studio with, I think it said like the Budapest Orchestra or something like that. So yeah, really, really, really cool. If I had one critique of it, honestly, this is my only critique. My only real critique would be it's probably like 80-10 orchestra or 80-20 orchestra music. I wish it was a little more even. I want to hear your synth stuff a little bit higher in the mix. That would be my only real okay, wait, holy shit. It was a commission. Really exactly. I wrote the parts and they recorded it in a half an hour.
In a half an hour.
Dude, that is so fucking cool. Are you kidding me?
Musicians right there. There you go.
Okay, for anybody watching who liked this song or who is checking this out, even if you don't like the song, watch the fucking video that we linked in the description. I think we'll have issues playing it, the video itself. So I didn't want to watch the video, but
that's smart.
Watch the video. Because you
can see them record the orchestra recording this.
Yeah, he had the orchestra filmed recording this, and it's amazing how many pieces were in the orchestra. Would you say, Alex? It looks like at least 20-30 people, something like that.
Full thing.
So cool. He says also it's layered, indeed, but there is Nights of '82 reprise on Spotify only with the orchestra. Oh, very cool. So you're getting all your money's worth out of that orchestra recording. That's awesome. Yeah, man. Very, very well done. And like, how many people do you know that fucking hire an orchestra to like not even augment their track, make it like a central part of their track? Like, that is so cool. He says, it was such a challenge to mix it. Didn't want to crush the orchestra too much. First time that I did something like this. I think there were like 40 people. Yeah, see, okay, so now I almost want to retract my criticism.
I think you're really spot on, Nate. I agree with you. I think Yeah, like so. I mean, first of all, okay, there's very very little to poke at about this. It sounds incredible.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing. It's written really well, as I'm sure you know, Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's dope.
It's
good
beautiful
music. It's something
music.
that you want to drive to. You know,
It is.
the way that it is. There's nothing wrong with it. The way that it is. But I support your note that you're giving there, Nate. I think
Yeah.
that I feel like you could almost tell that in the way that the song is mixed is like how dear the orchestra recording is to you, to the point where like
I don't blame you.
really wanted to keep it the central most focused part of the song. But I agree with Nate. I think that a more impactful product would actually be something that features the drums more and features that bass line more. Those awesome like ABBA synth harmony things that are happening in there.
Totally.
They especially this dun, 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 you know, the steady part of the orchestra, especially that part playing a more support role.
Yes. Yeah.
To like the synthesizers and guitars and drums and things that are happening.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do, right? When you've experienced everything that it took to get the recording of the orchestra.
Yeah.
And it's unbalanced with how many people played on it, how much human effort went into that aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's hard to bring yourself to end up mixing it in an unbalanced way. We're like, no, this drum beat that took me 45 seconds to program is going to be the loudest thing in the song.
Right.
It's tough to, you know,
Yeah.
but I agree with you, Nate. I think that that would be an improvement.
Yeah. I okay. Thank you for backing me up on that. What I will say though is I stand by that as well, but I absolutely do not blame him for not doing that.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
Because if you hired an orchestra, it's like, holy fuck, what are you're not going to bury the orchestra. Like, okay, I don't know if Alex, I'm probably being presumptuous, but I'm casting you in the league with us, our level of producers and production, where we're not making music for films or selling a million records or anything like that. So if it was one of us and we hired a fucking orchestra, you goddamn bet it's gonna feature the orchestra, like primarily. Like it is such like a that's such an endeavor to go through to you know, make your track like that. But yeah, I do agree. I think what I originally said it was like 80-20 orchestra band. I think that was a little harsh. I think it's more like 60-40. I think there's a way he could have bumped up the synths and the drums a little bit, just to make it because really on a track like this, the orchestra should be a complement. It should be a more supporting thing. But you know, for obvious reasons, he didn't go that route, and I don't blame him for not doing that. The other thing I wanted to say, I would very favorably compare this to like Giorgio Moroder, and I know I've brought him up a couple times, but this very much sounds like classic Moroder to me, down to like the super synthy, like driving, just dance beat with synth stuff and like kind of disco strings. Like that's like classic Moroder equation right there. So Alex, very, very well done, man. You should be very, very proud of that track. And man, like I said, if you guys want to watch the video, it's linked in the description below in the video, and it is so cool. It is so cool what this guy did. And Alex, there's definitely more to this EP and piece of music, so please check it out. Give Alex a follow. Find him on Spotify, Tidal, YouTube, everywhere. Thank you for submitting music, Alex. And please, again, if you have anything you're working on in the future, send us more stuff. We'll play it on the show again, all right? So thank you so much for subscribing and watching. And, so, yeah, that one definitely stood out to me because I wrongfully assumed that it was he was some black market fellow robber baron.
Stealer of music like us.
Yeah. But no, he's legit. So hell yeah, man. Okay. So the next one I would like to play is La Maquina de Viento by Javier Torrealba. This one is really cool. It reminds me of some of the Eno like ambient stuff we did a few weeks ago on the stream. That's kind of what it reminds me of. He sent me some more info about how exactly it was recorded. I think while we listen, I'm going to look for that and maybe read that once we play the song. So let's check this one out. This one is La Maquina de Viento by...
Where's Javier from?
Javier's from Venezuela, he said, but he... actually, let me make sure. I believe he said Venezuela.
If you already said that.
No, it's okay. I'll read his email after we listen to the tune.
Okay, cool.
Definitely, like, you can hear the tape. Listen to that tape.
It's the good hiss.
Yes.
Great melody.
Yeah.
Great synth sound. It's great headphone music. If
Wonderful.
you're not listening to this in headphones.
Yeah, wonderful.
Some good stuff
music.
happening.
Yeah. Swimming. Love this return back to this. I love this kind of stuff. I would love to make music like this. This is like aspirational music for me.
Emilio says it sounds like it could be absolute fire indie video game music.
I
Absolutely,
100% agree with that. Totally.
Yeah. Like a a pixel art video game.
Yes, yeah. Some kind of dark, spooky, pixel-based
like
video game.
Final note in there. That's
Yeah.
cool. But both the songs that we've listened to so far have had very cool little isolated. Alex's song had like a final chord.
Yeah.
It was isolated.
Yeah.
Javier's has like just a little note.
Really pretty
Resolving
final little
through there.
note. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that was beautiful.
Beautiful music, very relaxing. Just swimming in. I hope by mentioning the tape hiss, I'm not making him self-conscious of that fact or anything like that. Like that's a beautiful part of the recorded medium that we work in. That is, for forever has just been part of it. And for me, it adds, especially to this kind of music, it's like a layer of white noise that enhances kind of the drone-like kind of just zone out vibey kind of way this song can, exactly the way this song can like kind of hypnotically induce you into that kind of a state. It helps,
right? Yeah, like people put on like the sound of the ocean.
Exactly.
For things.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
I never thought about it like that. Tape hiss is like the sound of the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like wind noise or rain
wind,
noise or something. It's really pretty.
Isn't that what Maquina de Viento means? Isn't it? Somebody in the chat who actually speaks Spanish, not you, Amelia.
Yeah.
But does that mean like the wind machine?
Yeah, the machine something.
The wind? Isn't that what that means?
Possibly, yeah. Let me read his email that he sent us, because I don't believe he's in the chat, so this will be the closest we can get to interacting with him right now. He says, "Hi, my name is Javier Torrealba. I'm from Venezuela, but I moved to Norway 20 years ago. I have a background as a reggae, punk, rock, electro-pop bass player. After some years playing in bands, I decided to start making music with analog and modular synths, and I released my first record in October of last year. The record was made with only hardware synths and mixed using both software and an old Tascam cassette recorder to give it the proper analog/dirty touch. Very evident and very wise choice, my friend. The songs are instrumental/experimental lo-fi. The record was mastered at 12K Mastering in New York. I'm sending you only one song for the show, but here are different platforms for streaming the record, and of course a Bandcamp link as well.
Oh, so yeah, Bandcamp artists.
Bandcamp artists, we love them. What up, y'all? So yeah, super cool. And I think you responded to him. I saw, and really smart of him to elect for some pro mastering for this.
Yeah. I think that's a really big part of what works about this is Javier, went the extra mile not the extra mile. He did not skimp on the mastering stage. He actually went to like a real true pro mastering studio for this. Right. And I think that has a lot to do with how buttery smooth and wonderful this sounds.
Yeah.
I would suspect. Cause it what I mean? It just hits you so squarely.
Yeah.
It's so easy to listen to.
Absolutely.
And there's so much detail in the sound. You got some notes, some thoughts, some input?
Yeah.
Emilio. Sorry, I was teasing Emilio about the Spanish thing because Emilio's one of our homies that we grew up with, and it's like
it's called the Wind Machine.
The eternal teasing thing that we do with Emilio is we like to pretend like he's not Latino at all. Which is not true, of course, but that's
Emilio's an old friend.
That's the joke.
I don't really have a criticism for this one. I love it, especially because it's so clearly a piece of it's a snippet of a bigger piece of music. So for me, it's like trying to look at a photograph through like a pinhole. Like you're only seeing a piece of it, so it's hard for me to really critique it too heavily. But if the rest of the EP sounds like this, I mean, I love this kind of music. And actually, Alex, I think wisely compared it to kind of Eno type stuff.
Eno.
Which
Alex has loved it, and the Eno-esque vibes.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But at the same time, I actually find this to be slightly more engaging than a lot of the Eno stuff. Because this has, while it's amazing, it maintains a very definite structure. There's like a piece, like an A movement, a B movement, and then it returns to A, which is much more structurally adhered to than anything Eno would do. We've talked about it. His stuff is much more like randomly generated in the ways that he does it. So this has a little more definite intention behind it, which I appreciate and I really enjoy. Yeah, it's almost a little unfair because I'm just playing music that I love. Like, I love this genre of music, so I don't really have anything bad to say about it. I think his use of...
Say something bad. No, I'm just kidding.
I think his use of the old Tascam mixer was really wise, really cool, adds to the vibe. And the fact that he made this all on hardware synths, like, that is so cool.
Yeah.
This is as like old school. This might as well have been recorded in the 70s, really, because he did it in this exact same way that they would have, really. So super, super cool. Very, very excellent. Javier, if you're watching the show after the fact, if you weren't able to catch this live with us, we loved your tune, man. Please send us more in the future if you've got more you would like us to check out. And
yeah, sounds really good.
Thank you again.
Javier, I would just have two suggestions.
Okay.
One, so first of all, this sounds incredible, and the melody is fantastic. The choices of synth sounds are like super, super astute and like very, very nice. Which is one of the more advanced level aspects of making synthesizer based music, is like those fine the choices of the synth sounds that you use. Beautiful in here. My two things I would suggest to you: one is explore the use of the low frequencies more, maybe.
Definitely.
Unless of course that was an intentional choice and you intentionally withheld that for this song, because like Nate, like you said, this is one chapter in a greater story.
Yeah. So
it might have been intentional that this is one where there's not where everything going on in the low frequency information is actually withheld on purpose, which would be a pretty amazing, impactful thing if like it's there, and then it's gone for this nice little bit of the story.
Sure.
But if it wasn't intentional, I think it would be good to at least explore it, because there's a moment where the A section comes back, like
towards
about
the end of the song.
Yeah, like about 2/3 of the way through the song, and this melody comes back in, and then there's another note or like a little chord that the other synthesizer plays in support of it to give like a little bed. Like if there was like a bass note in there, that this melody synthesizer could play on top of, I think that it's like a third degree, or a third dimension.
Yeah.
To the music that would really make it like wrap around you.
That's well said, Brandon. And I do agree with that, actually, wholeheartedly. I think it's kind of like you mentioned last time when we were listening to Tommy's stuff, I think. We had talked about, and you had mentioned specifically how a lot of the instrumentation lived within a pretty narrow frequency band.
Yes. And
to expand that band so that it's like super high highs and super low lows, it just like it. Not only is it's ear candy, but it also It's
It affects you emotionally.
It does, yeah, and it opens your imagination up, because you now the possibilities of like, oh my God, where could this music take me? It could take me anywhere. It's
and
not
you can
just
fall
in this...
deeper into it.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the one counterpoint I would say to the low end stuff, I agree with you that it would make it much more like enveloping, but I will say I kind of do think I'll go back to the tape hiss stuff. The tape hiss goes a way towards that, making up for that lack of kind of enveloping, big, overwhelming frequencies, because these tape hiss frequencies are kind of washing over you in a similar way that like a more pristine, like kind of low end, low frequency thing probably would in a different take on something like this.
Yeah.
But that being said, I do agree with you. I think it would be cool if there was a little more variation and a little more depth to the sounds here.
Yeah. Right. If the floor of the frequencies was lower.
Yeah.
And also, I think something that I would recommend that you experiment with, play around with, try out is layering synth sounds that are playing the same part.
Yeah.
I feel like a mistake that a lot of people make when you're making synthesizer music is that you only have one synth sound be playing each musical part.
Sure.
I find a lot of the most successful, amazing sounding, deep textured sounding synth music actually has multiple, sometimes more than 3 different synthesizer sounds that are playing the exact same part or aspects of it, trading in and out, and they end up combining to be sounding like one sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
it's possible he's limited by his hardware.
right, yeah, exactly, because you're using modular synths.
Yeah.
Which, like I know that the recallability and even the number of voices that you can be using in one pass can be limited.
Yeah.
And also, right, he's recording on a Tascam, so he's probably got either 4 or 6 or 8 tracks to record his song with. So
yeah.
So I don't know how in your workflow you could accomplish layering parts like that if you do, but if you're able to devise a way, I would say it would be something definitely worth playing around with, experimenting.
I agree.
Maybe you find your own ideas and inspiration in there.
Yeah.
But if it's something that you haven't tried before, I think some new ideas could come to you if you play around with that.
I think that's well said. Good critique. I'm very like prone to just being like, I like it. So I'm glad you had something actual to say.
Yeah, and I really do hope that everything that I'm saying is coming across as positive and input to something that I think is perfect, and I wouldn't change it the way that it is. I mean, like I would listen to this, and I do listen to this the way that it is.
Right. Yeah, I think.
But I feel like too. I would imagine that, or hope that some other kinds of thoughts or, banging it around with other musicians and other producers and hearing some ideas that you could try or not try, which is your prerogative also, is part of submitting it.
Sure.
Maybe some feedback is what you're looking for, and if you don't want it, then don't listen to us. It's all good. But I would imagine if you submit it,
you're looking for some kind of feedback.
Some feedback would be some part of what you want. Yeah,
I would hope so. And I'll second what Brandon said. We're playing your music because we're trying to be supportive. We're not trying to tear anybody down. We love everybody who's submitting music. So thank you if you're submitting music.
We haven't listened to anything that I don't like yet.
Same. Yeah.
And I've already listened to all the submissions ahead of time, and I liked every single one of them.
Yeah. I think one thing that would be cool for Javier, if you're willing to spring the extra cash for mastering, maybe next time, instead of springing the cash for mastering, go into a cool analog synth studio that has a bunch of more synths available to you. Bring your setup in and then layer that way. And maybe...
Or access to a larger tape machine?
Or that too. Yeah, that could do it. Yeah. Who knows? We don't know his exact workflow. And given given the box that he has seemed to have put himself in, excellent work. Very well done. Very beautiful, dreamy music, stuff that I would honestly listen to anytime. So thank you, Javier. We really appreciate
melody.
Yeah,
The
beautiful
melody is super tasty.
everything. So thank you, Javier.
Yeah, thank you. Dub clap.
Yeah, dub clap. All right.
Who's next?
So I think next, I picked 3 of them today. I think we should listen to your pick next.
Just do my pick?
Yes.
All right, sweet.
So
Yeah, I
Brandon's...
picked another Bandcamp artist. So this is... Oh, yeah.
I have not listened to this one yet. So do you want to give any
nice.
kind of short little preamble before
Sure.
we check this one out?
Sure. Yeah, so this is Low Spirit. This is an artist from Istanbul in Turkey. This is experimental music. So this is noise music, and what I love about this is like the ethos of this project seems like this is a combination of noise and black metal.
Amazing.
So black metal is the metal that is literally satanic.
Yes, like they burn churches down and stuff.
Yeah, like
cool as
actual
fuck.
Satan,
Yeah.
not like not for show, not for
Yeah.
ornamentation,
Like
not
like
just
we're
as a vibe.
like we're
but
in a battle against God himself.
like like literally Satan, and
It's fucking
and
awesome.
and noise music. So basically, like your like how with dub reggae, your instrument is the mixing console.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Emilio says looks metal AF. Exactly.
It does.
This is definitely up Emilio's alley. You like this kind of music. So like with dub reggae, the mixing console becomes your instrument. So with noise, your instrument is distortion
Yeah.
and just mangling audio. And it's awesome. So definitely have your hand on the volume
Okay.
control for
Got
this
it.
one.
Got it. I'll start it a little low and I'll bring it up to appropriate volume.
Okay. Yeah, I can't. I think it starts out quiet,
Okay. Fun.
and and you'll know it when it happens. This is some cool stuff.
I'll queue
Low
up.
Spirit.
I'll try and queue up his email as well if there's anything interesting we can procure from that. Okay, so The Perfect Day by Low Spirit. Here we go. This is nuts. This is not what I was expecting. I love it.
Fun?
It's really good.
Fun?
Yeah. Whoa.
How dope is that? Oh,
Holy shit.
the filter sweep at the end.
Yeah.
How dope is that?
Wow. That was amazing. That was so cool. It's so not what I was expecting. I was expecting more of like an actual like kind of death metal fucking
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
double
I
bass
think there are
drum
other
attack
songs.
thing.
I think their other songs have, or at least some of them have more of a straight ahead metal style.
Interesting.
I think this song, I think, is like one of the
this
least
is,
metal.
To me, this
on
is
this
more
EP,
interesting
but-
anyway than that, because that I've heard that kind of stuff, and I have my own kind of preconceived notions of what it's like, and my own kind of, you know, expectations of what to hear. This, not expecting at all what I heard, and I thought it was really fucking cool. It's like trap.
Dope, right?
Trap metal, screamo, industrial death metal, like fucking amazing melding of very like disparate genres. Like there's like such a wide chasm between genres here that he has managed to bridge in a way that is like actually really natural and sounds. It sounds like he made a new genre. Or subgenre, I should say. Like this is like to me this sounds more like a subgenre of like trap. Just based on the drum rhythms he's using. It's pretty incredible what he's managed to do here.
Yes.
What do you think? What are your initial thoughts
Well,
to that? Well, you've heard it before.
First of all, some vocals. Finally.
Yeah,
I would say
stuff.
for all of us out there, for all y'all music producers out there, yeah, Alex has fantastic production.
Totally
exactly.
agree.
Yeah,
amazing production.
Producing stuff like this and having it be like a cohesive.
Do you know
thing
how
like
easy
this is way harder than you would imagine? Like, oh, you just distort it, right?
Do you know how easy it would be to make this sound fucking awful?
Oh yeah, right, exactly.
This would be so easy if you did it. If you had this idea and you didn't execute it this well, it would just be garbage. It would be fucking garbage. And he, like I said, has managed to basically come up with something new and unique that I've never heard before. I've never heard anything like this ever.
But vocals, man. So music producers out there, like it's so easy for us to end up just being, you know, forever instrumentalists.
Yeah.
Like whatever you got to do, whatever you can do, however it is that you do it. If you get the human voice involved in your music, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like imagine this without the voice.
Oh, it's time to purchase this motherfucker stuff. Well, I'm not going to be on stream and not purchase this guy's shit.
Right, yeah. If you were
$5.
alone by yourself, then you can
Add me to
click
the
no.
mailing
But
list.
now that it's public, we got no, just kidding.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Go out, Bandcamp artist.
Okay, well, I'll do this after the show. since I
Okay.
actually would like to keep listening to his music. Fuck it, we're here.
Yeah.
You guys do the
We're
same.
doing it.
Go support these artists, man. This is
Yeah.
good shit.
Buy Low Spirits music. But yeah, how do we get back there?
I got it.
Nice.
Hey, and
But
look,
yeah,
I'm the only
it-
person. I'm the only person that's bought it. You guys go buy this shit. It's free. Give them $1.
All right,
Give
first
them $1.
first purchase. There we go.
Yeah.
That is a big feeling, by the way, man. Just like
Totally.
let alone what you contribute financially to artists when you buy their music, but and Bandcamp, by the way, is set up in a really, really good way where the artists that you, whenever you stream their music, whenever you buy their music, whenever you subscribe, whenever you start following them, like it's set up in a way where like it really gives the artist a lot of information of who's doing what, who bought, who followed, who listened, all that stuff, and it,
Where
like,
the streams are coming from.
Yeah.
So if you guys
yeah.
click this guy's link on Bandcamp, at the link that's in the description of this video, he's gonna see that we sent you. So do that. Click the link and go check out this guy's stuff, man.
And you're right. So the individual person really gets a lot of feedback about what's happening, and it's just like what that feels like. You know, the first purchase on something,
It's
when
such
it
an
happens, when
underrated
it comes, like, yeah, it's hard to describe just like emotionally what that does.
I'm addicted to
you?
it. Hence,
What that
fucking
feeling is like.
34 EPs. Like, that's how good of a feeling it is for me. I'm like, let's do this shit again.
Yeah.
Let's do 30
So-
more EPs.
So Low Spirit, that's the first thing that I want to appreciate about this is it, in the mix of all of us music producers and all the music that got submitted, this is one of the only ones that has a voice in it.
Yeah, not a lot of vocals going on.
So
in the submissions.
I would urge that, and I would take that from here as some feedback and some input to give to everybody else who's out there. You know, like, unless you've got a real solid cohesive thing going on, that it is a real valid artistic choice to not have the human voice in the music. Unless you've got something that makes that a cogent thing,
Yeah.
you gotta get some voices in there, man.
Yeah. I have to agree.
And then the other feedback I would say is I might be wrong about this, but I don't think I am. It sounds like either the plug-in or the pedals or whatever it is, that Low Spirit that you're using for distortion, it sounds like there's one or two or maybe three sources of distortion that you're using. And I would say, given the style of music that this is, the cool thing about distortion is how different it sounds depending on the source
Yeah.
of distortion. I would say that's your palette. So like branch out, like go out and find and get as many different ways that you can distort the sounds,
Yeah.
and like spread that around as your palette. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think talking about the three-dimensionalness, like for a lot of the other people we've talked about, it's like bring sounds higher in frequency, bring sounds lower in frequency. I think for you, it is how many different styles and types of distortion can be happening around your head when you're listening to the music, you know?
Yeah.
That would make it sound really, really deep and really complex, and make it something that you want to listen to like a million times just to hear all the details that are in there.
Yeah.
Rather than it sounds like the drums and the bass and the piano and the voice were distorted using the same circuit.
Right.
It'll make it sound kind of flat.
Yeah.
And make each moment in each song sort of sound the same.
My suggestion, critique, whatever you want to call it, for this would be, I would dive deeper into the hip hop trance, trap
Yeah.
element of this, because it's definitely there, but it's It's slightly more under the surface, obviously, than the more distorted kind of death metal screamo stuff, which is, I think, is good that that's at the forefront. But like,
Yeah.
I would love to hear him collaborate with someone, like kind of like that Triple X Tension guy who passed away a few years ago. He was very young. He's the closest thing I could think of to this kind of stuff. It's like trap, but he's like screaming and he's like really like emo over it, and like that is the closest comparison I have to this kind of stuff. And I think if he were to lean into that direction even further, while maintaining this identity that he's built sonically as like this kind of crazy distorted like death metal guy that's producing like trap, there's a surprisingly huge audience for that. And I think he could find, I mean this genuinely, you could find a lot of success, man, from if you had someone where maybe they rapped like a couple verses or something and you like screamed the hooks like you're doing in this song, like something like that could be really cool and like surprisingly what's the word I'm looking for, appealing. Like there's like crazy enough to say in 2022 there's like, that's like crossover appeal you would have if you were to do something like that.
I think the world wants to get into an artist that's from Istanbul also.
Hell yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm from LA. Like, so what? Everyone's from LA.
Exactly.
Who cares?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, man.
This is fascinating stuff.
Low Spirit from Istanbul. That's pretty cool.
And hey, man, just gonna say, the lyrics are right there. I hope you're doing okay. Those lyrics are pretty gnarly, man. If it's an aesthetic choice, and you know that's part of it.
That's a big part of black metal, man.
Exactly. Yeah. I get it, and but you know, just shouting out, hey, you've got an official supporter now, so
that's right.
So cheer up.
Yeah.
Or don't. That's kind of what's cool about your music, is that you're like fucking, you know, like chop your own head off. That's pretty fucking metal as fuck. So.
But yeah, hit us up if you want someone to talk to also.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're your fam.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can talk with us.
So, The Perfect
Otherwise,
Day.
keep up the good work.
Yeah, absolutely. The Perfect Day by Low Spirit. Distorted, screamo, death metal, satanic trap from Istanbul, Turkey. Fucking cool, man.
Very cool.
Super cool. Not what I was expecting. Excellent work. Actually, before we move on to the next one, let me just see.
Clap.
Oh yeah, absolutely dub clap. So just to close out his submission, I'll read his first email he sent to us. He said, "I don't know if my music would take your attention. I make experimental noise / speedcore stuff. I'm actually a pianist and have other projects than noise in my SoundCloud. I'd appreciate the feedback on my EP and Bandcamp. It's a whole different kind of stuff that I developed for myself over the years. I'm really excited. Thank you." Well, Vert. Excellent work, man. Excellent work. Thank you for sending us your music. We loved getting to listen to it. It was a real treat. The Perfect Day by Low Spirit. Go check that out. Link in the description of the video. So please go check that out. Okay. Last but not least, we've got... let's see. I want to pull up his email. I believe we got Earl Grey is the song by Sam CD Productions. So let's check that out. I love Earl Grey. Yeah, Earl Grey tea. Oh yeah.
Ooh. Whoa.
That was sick. I love how that
It's
came
like
in. Just then.
turn my head around.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Super cool. Earl Grey.
Just real quick, can I just point out how much Tidal looks like Spotify?
Oh yeah,
Looks like exactly
It's exactly the same.
Anyway, okay.
Even
Earl
if you
Grey.
click like this, but like this is literally copy
That's
pasted
exactly
from
the same.
Spotify. Yeah, it's exactly the
Okay.
same.
All right.
But they
Anyway,
don't
I
have
just
this
had to
little
get that out of
hi-fi
my
button.
brain.
Yeah. Okay. I have a couple things to say, but do you want to go first?
Sure. So yeah. So first of all, dope as hell. I love the way that you turn the beat around. They like did one of so Sam CD production. So is this like a collective who put this together? Or is Sam? Sam CD somebody?
I'm not sure. I have a feeling it's Sam is the guy, but I don't know.
Okay. But
we didn't get a ton of information from him from the email. He just kind of sent the link.
I love the moments of having the rhythm feel unsteady and hard to find, but then there is a payoff.
Yes.
The steady rhythm does come, and then you are able to hear what you were hearing before. Can't think of another example of this, but something where like when you hear it without the drums, you think the rhythm is in a certain place, but it turns out it's somewhere else once the drums show up and show it to you.
I love that.
And then there's just the right amount. So once the drums are in, there's just the right amount of taking the steadiness away, only to give it back. So, yeah, the use of contrast, pulling away and then giving back, is really well executed here. Other than that, I mean, it sounds like something that is primed and ready for a collaboration. Like
Agreed.
with a nice vocalist on there.
Agreed.
Most likely a hip hop MC of some sort. And then again, I think bass is missing. I know there is bass in the sample that you're using, but at least 1-2 other elements of production in there, little throwing down a couple simple ideas on a keyboard, on a synthesizer, in a Dr. Dre kind of way. It's like, this is over the top.
Yeah. So I definitely have I have a few things to say about it. And first off, they're mostly critiques, but I don't want that to be construed as me saying I don't like the track, because I actually do really like this.
This is dope.
I think it's really dope. It's really, really good. It's well done. It's simple, kind of like oh man, who's the hip hop producer that passed away? Who oh my god, what the
Talking about Jay Dilla?
Yes. Kind of gives me some Jay Dilla vibes.
Yeah.
Which
because it sounds performed.
It does,
like the samples and everything. That doesn't sound like it was done with a keyboard and mouse, although maybe it was. But yeah, it sounds like somebody playing on pads.
Yeah. So I think all of that, there's clear musicianship present here, even with just playing around with samples like he's doing. First, another positive thing I'll say before I go into some of my critiques is I love the sample. The sample itself, that piano thing is like this beautiful cascading, just virtuosic,
strong,
gorgeous little piano trill thing that's happening. That's really, really cool. And it's beautifully repeated. And it's again, I use the term like swimming, but it really, Emilio says MF Doom. I totally agree with that as well. That's like, in that same vein as well. It's the kind of sample you can really like get lost in, and the fact that it has this driving beat under it, much like Knights of 82, it adds to just how lost you can get into it, which I really like. Now, the things I'll say I don't love about it, it's kind of nitpicky, and it's kind of producer nitpicky, I think.
It's your prerogative.
Yeah.
That's your lane. That's okay.
Yeah.
You go for it, Nate.
First off, like Brandon, I agree that it sounds like he's performing these samples, which I think is really cool. But I hear it too much. Like, I hear when the sample clicks over and repeats. Like I hear the button being pressed, not literally, but like I can tell when it starts over. Like it's almost like somehow, I don't even know if it's possible to do with a sequencer. There needs to be a smoother transition. It sounds like a hard cut when he's changing over some of these samples, and that can be really well done and really cool. But in this instance, I'm not. It's almost too sharp. And it almost sounds like a clip at times, and I know it's not. The other thing I'll say is about that sample, it almost drives me nuts. It's panned slightly to the left. Slightly off center. And it's kind of distracting because it almost reminds me of like old like Beatles shit, where it's like half the band is on the left and half the band is on, like the drums and bass are on the right. To me, it almost sounds that way. It almost sounds like he panned the drums and bass to the right, when in reality, I don't know if he actually did, but it's hard to tell because
it's just because the piano's the sample is to the left.
The sample's pulling my attention so far to the left that it's making the actual rhythm of the track sound off center, which is not what's happening, but it's a little distracting. And then I'll echo what Brandon said in that it's a really cool track that is primed for some human input, some collaboration, like a person to rap over this or to sing over it or to do something over it, to speak over it, because instrumental stuff, you can kind of read into it however you like. You can kind of it can be the soundtrack to any given situation in your life, almost more so than music that has words to it. And in that sense, it's really cool and it's a really powerful tool. But for something like this, where you're trying to capture an audience's attention, and you're trying to hold someone's attention, I think having a human element, like Brandon mentioned, goes so far towards aiding that goal, because without it, it's too much like background score or something. It can kind of fade into the back too much, and you, unlike Javier's song that we played earlier, where that's almost kind of the point. I don't really get that that's the point here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's going for a lo-fi hip-hop chill beats to study to thing, where you kind of just melt away and it's just there. Maybe. But I would love to hear someone
with a title like Earl Grey.
It's such a good name. Yeah.
You know, it
Honestly,
might be like you know, your tea and your homework
yeah.
kind of vibe, you know.
And
Maybe.
this is probably too, maybe I'm overstepping my boundaries here. Sam CD Productions. Sam CD Productions is not a bad name. Earl Grey, great name.
It's a great name.
Earl Grey,
Great title.
that's your fucking name, dude. Earl Grey, that sounds like a producer, like a hip hop producer. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that is a dope name. Great name for an album. Great name for a song. But
Yeah.
if you were Earl Grey, dude, that's sick. That's sick as fuck.
They that's another thing that we should be pointing out about the submissions too. It's like a huge aspect of making music. The titles.
The name.
The names of things. Okay, Javier Torrealba. That's a perfect name.
It's really cool.
I know that's your real name. Perfect name to make music under. Low Spirit.
Super
That's a
good
dope name. That's a really good name.
Yeah.
Wise Owl, questionable.
No,
Probably
it's a good
not
name.
that great
It's
of a name.
It's a good name.
Low Spirit, Earl Grey. We had some last time too. I can't even remember right now the two songs that we did last time, but I remember. Oh, Oil.
Oil. So
Great
good.
artist name.
Fucking fantastic.
Oil.
Something mundane, something we come across on a daily basis, something everybody knows, something everybody can relate to.
But it's a can of worms, man.
It's a
When you
can
think
of
about
worms.
Oil, like how many different topics and themes and visuals, and dude, it's amazing.
And I think Earl Grey is a similar,
Grey is
just
like
like
that too.
catch all, just like you can read into anything you want into a name like that, and it's just so strong. Yeah. To piggyback on what you're saying about names, when I was more into like producing bands, like being more hands-on with my, you okay?
Andy got me. Andy said that the best artist name of all, Goose. I did a spit take.
Oh yeah.
Andy got me.
Yeah.
Goose.
When I was
Maverick.
more hands-on with producing bands, like one-on-one, so often bands would come up to me and I'd be like, okay, what's your band name? And they'd be like, it would be like the Joe Smith Project. And
Yeah.
I'd be like, cool. So like Dave Matthews Band? Like that's like what you're going for, like that kind of vibe? And they'd be
Yeah.
like, well, no. And I'm like, then what? Then like, why
If
come
you
up
want to
with
be the favorite band of dads,
yeah, like
you got it.
like if I called my dubs instead of Black Market, I called it the Nate Bridges Project. It's like
Yeah. Black Market.
boring, dude. Fucking boring. Like just think of anything, like anything, and you already did. Earl Grey, dude. It's fucking sick. I think the strength of a name is so underrated because for me, if a name doesn't like hook me in like Oil did, I kind of get turned off before I even press play, and that's not a good headspace to be in to start. It's kind of like how chefs say you eat with your eyes first, and that's how I would describe a good band name or a good artwork even is because you're probably going to encounter the name or see the artwork before you hear a single piece of music, right? So you want that stuff to be strong, you want it to hook you in, you want it to be powerful and thought-provoking. You don't want it to be the Nate Bridges Project because one, who the fuck's Nate Bridges? Who gives a shit?
Right. That's what I always say about
Who
Nate Bridges.
cares? I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Your name
If I
doesn't
had
tell
a
me who you
dime
are.
for every time I've heard somebody say that about
Dude.
Nate Bridges.
No, I thought you were like, I've had a dime for how many bands I've heard with names like that.
No.
Me too. I would agree with
I'm
that.
just needlessly teasing you
Yeah.
because I feel like teasing you. That's all.
that being said, Sam CD Productions is way cooler than the Whatever Project, because the Whatever Project, that shit needs to die. It needs to not exist.
But no, you're pointing towards a good thing for sure. Sam CD Productions, yeah, I agree. I think it's worth considering just picking something that sounds
cool,
thought-provoking, and just go with it, man.
Yep. It doesn't matter.
Wise Owl, more than half the reason why I chose the name Wise Owl is because it just needs to be something.
Yes.
Just pick something and use it.
Yep.
Like, I didn't worry too much about it being the perfect one.
Yeah.
It was like, that's a name that sounds like a name.
Yep.
Just commit to it.
Do it. Yeah. I agree. If I could go back, I wouldn't have called this whole thing Black Market. I don't think I would have, but
you just pick it and
I just picked it because I was like, that's way better than fucking whatever I was gonna call it, Nate Bridges dub, or like, who knows what I was thinking back then. Probably something fucking dumb like
NB Dub Works.
NB Dub, yeah, King Dubby, I don't know, fucking stupid shit. You know, like,
yeah,
I just knew that it had to be something that actually didn't invoke me, because who am I? I'm nobody. Nobody knows who I am. So if you're nobody and you're saying, hey, look, here's the Nate Bridges thing, it's like, I don't know who you are, dude. I don't care. That's not hooking me in at all. You know, if 10 years, 20 years from now, after I sold 1 million records, if I started a new project called, or if you're fucking Jack White, okay, you're Jack White, you start the White Stripes. That's very interesting, cool name. 10 years later, after he's made $40 million, yeah, I'm going on tour as Jack White now. Good, cool, because you're Jack White. I know who you are now. But if you're just like, I'm going on tour as Bob Smith, and you see that on a bill, it's like, dude, it's weak sauce, man. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Bob Smith.
Anyway,
Alex says the Dub Institute.
See,
Alex, who clearly loves using the word institute in,
yeah, no kidding.
in names.
Yeah.
But that's a good one.
Alex, you can have institute, my friend. That is all yours.
I do want to hear your dub that you make, Alex, under the name Dub Institute. I hope that's coming.
Go for it.
I hope it's coming.
Go for it.
Andy says Black Market jumped out at me when I first saw it. Yeah, exactly. Me too, man. That was one of the first thoughts I ever had about Black Market. It's like, okay, that's a vibey name.
Well,
it just sounds like a whole. It sounds like its own scene, its own world.
That's definitely what it's become. So, so it's that worked, I guess. Anyway, to wrap up, Sam CD Productions, Earl Grey is the song. Super cool tune. I definitely want to hear more stuff.
Last thing I want to point out is the super tasteful reverb on the drums.
Oh yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
The drum samples, the kick and the snare and the hat samples they used are very well chosen, super crisp, snappy, and they suit the vibe of the sample really well, and the reverb that's there on the drums really make it work.
Yeah. Sam, I hope I didn't come off as a hater, man. I really dig your track. I think it's really, really good. Kind of springboarded some other thoughts I had about other things that don't even really necessarily have anything to do with you or your music.
We kind of ended up venting on another topic that is not your fault.
Not your fault at all. I just think Earl Grey is a dope name, and it's all yours, man. Do what you want with it, and it sounds like you have, and it's really cool. But yeah, I would definitely recommend Sam CD Productions. I'm gonna listen to the rest of his stuff on online where I can find it, and if you want to do the same, his link is in the description below in the video, wherever you're watching this video from. So thank you to Sam CD Productions, Javier Torrealba, United Simensky Institute, and what was
Low Spirit.
Low Spirit. Excellent stuff today, you guys.
Great work, y'all.
Massive dub clap. Woo! Excellent.
There we go. I wanted to get something new in there.
Yeah, that's a good one. Wow. I don't know about you guys. I love the music segment. I love it. I
you
really,
having
really
fun with
love
that?
it. I don't spend enough time listening to other people's stuff as often as I should. So I love that we've figured out a way to force me to do that. And I think it's great because it's
Yeah.
there's so much good music out there, and we're so fortunate to have the small, albeit small, platform that we do have to share this stuff out
Yeah.
there with people. So if you're like us and you dug that stuff, please go support these artists. They all deserve it. Every artist, no matter what, if you're fucking making music and putting it out into the world, you deserve someone to hear it and someone to check it out and to listen to it at least. Like Brandon said, it's the greatest feeling in the world to have someone else that you don't know, a stranger from across the world, enjoy your music or to pay money for it. It's just, you can't put a price on that feeling. It's incredible. So we definitely look forward to it. We have way more submissions in the submission box. I hope you guys can see why we're choosing to do only a few a week, because we tried to do 4 just now and it took about an hour. So
Yeah, that took a while. Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
do 2 a week.
2 a week
We're only
is-
doing 2 today because we didn't do any last week, and we didn't want
Yeah.
the people who submitted to have to be the ones to suffer.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're in the last stretch of the show. I promised viewers 9 Inch Nails.
You did. You put it in the title.
I
But
put it
wait,
in the title.
there's still something that we haven't done yet.
Oh my lord! I know what you're gonna say.
Eno Card.
Eno. Brian Eno.
Brian Eno.
Okay.
So this is from the deck of cards, oblique strategies, mind benders to break your brain out
Yes.
of its patterns that it's stuck in when you're working on music in the studio.
Hell yeah.
Courtesy of Brian Eno and some other guy.
Yeah. Courtesy of other guy and Brian Eno. Okay, so this one, very interesting. And something to ponder for some of our fellow producers and especially younger producers. This says, always first steps. Always first steps. Always first steps. Always first steps.
Steps.
Always first steps. That's the final way to pronounce that.
That was funny.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
That one's cool, man. It's like that reminds me of, you're building a brick, not a wall. Like you're Rome wasn't built in a day. That kind of thing. Like it's important to zoom out as an artist, as a creative person, and remind yourself that you're not going to play Madison Square Garden by next weekend, no matter how bad you want to. You have to. You got to take the steps. You got to take your first steps, which might just be
And it's possible to be
tuning your guitar.
But right, yeah, it's made of these things.
Yeah.
The wall is made of the bricks.
Exactly. Yeah. You're building a brick, not a wall. That's not what the card says. But
No, this is what you're saying.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, always first steps. What are your thoughts? Those are kind of my initial thoughts on it.
Yeah, this is one of the more mysterious ones that we've
Yeah.
picked. I mean, just the first thing that came right to my mind is like it's like use your early takes, use your early ideas.
I like that.
Always first steps. Yeah, just kind of like just only use the first ideas that you had, or something like that.
I like that. I've even kind of like lately, like we've been working with a fellow Bandcamp artist, Jerry Pines, who you guys might have seen. I sent his
Bandcamp
link.
artist.
Yeah, I sent his link. Do you always play that when
I guess I don't know. It's my new thing. I'm just giving a dub siren whenever we bring up a Bandcamp artist.
I wish I
guess.
wouldn't have drawn attention to it, but yeah, I like that. We've been working on his music a lot lately, and one of the things I like is I feel like in the past maybe he's worked with people or worked in such a way where maybe he's been accustomed to doing like 50 takes of something or whatever, you know. And we've done some online sessions, the three of us, where we have Brandon play bass on stuff, and it really doesn't go that way. And we try to push him to use some of the earliest stuff that we wind up producing for him when you play. I mean, would you agree with that? I kind of feel that way.
Well, if that is happening, it's probably happening behind the scenes before it gets to me. I haven't noticed. I mean, at least I personally don't try to, nudge him towards using anything earlier for the sake of it. Because I
think it just
I'm
kind of winds up
meeting
happening
him
that
more
way.
recently than you. I know that you've known him and worked with him for much longer. So I have never known him or worked with him to know that he's got one of those 50 million take tendencies.
I mean, he doesn't necessarily, I wouldn't go that far necessarily, but like definitely I think he's used to just like, a lot of artists are used to like, it's almost like built into the process for them. I think because of like, digital recording and Pro Tools, it's just part of it is like you can just do 1,000 takes.
Yeah, right. It's part of the way that we learned.
Yeah, and there's a lot of value in that, but you can't underestimate on the flip side the value of using something early on in the process that maybe has the kind of enthusiasm and adventurousness that something later on down the line that maybe might be more technically proficiently played or perfect, it might not still have that same exciting spirit to it, which is why I would say it's a good idea sometimes to use earlier takes and stuff like that, like you were saying. I think that is kind of cool.
Always first steps, man.
Always
you know what
first
they
steps.
say.
Yeah.
That old adage. Always first steps.
Okay.
You're like, no, what old adage?
Yeah, so that's a good one. Eno Cards. Thank you, Brian Eno.
Eno Card.
I guess actually there's one more thing we could do before we get you over to Nine Inch Nails. Do you want to show
What's that?
off your new toys that you got?
Oh yeah, I got some new guitars here.
Yeah.
So I think it happened. Were we doing the show when my storage unit got robbed?
Yeah.
Was that part of it?
That was the
Yeah,
second
yeah.
episode. That was really early
Yeah.
on in the show too. That was brutal. It was like, hey, no one watching. We also got robbed.
Yep. Groove Stranger was there.
Groove Stranger was there for sure.
Let's see. Yeah, so OG watchers of the show may remember a time when my storage unit was broken into one night. I don't know when it happened. And all of my instruments and music gear that I didn't currently have actually with me were stolen. So it's all of my guitars except for one. So at long last, a nice... thankfully, I had insurance on the storage unit. Insurance claim paid out, and I replaced some of the guitars that I lost. It's super, super important for any guitarist who plays live to show up with more than one guitar.
Yeah, that's usually helpful.
Always bring more than one guitar. So I've got my two guitars here.
These are cool as fuck guitars, y'all. I think did we talk about these a little bit on one of the streams, like what you were looking at, or was that we probably were just talking ourselves privately?
Yeah. I don't think that we've talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
Alex says, I remember seeing a documentary with The Edge from U2. He said that they often struggled to capture the vibe of the demos in the studio. Legit struggle. Yes.
Agreed.
Yes.
Totally.
It's tough to capture that fleeting moment.
Yep.
Always first steps.
Yep.
So yeah, at the recommendation of a friend of the show, friend from Atascadero, Bob White, I looked at getting what's known as lawsuit guitars. So there's this whole world of guitars that were made in the 70s in Japan that are a literal direct copy of Gibson guitars, Fender guitars, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're like the exact same thing. Direct copy. And in a lot of cases, the quality of them is even better than the Gibson and Fender instruments. So there's some really masterful guitars made in these two factories, especially one's the Matsumoku factory and the other one is the Fujigen factory.
Wow. Where were yours from?
So I have one from each.
Oh, very cool.
So this is a 1977 Les Paul made by the company Greco. Not Gibson, but Greco. 1977 Les Paul.
So sick.
Made at the Fujigen factory. Super dope. Super excited about this.
Such a nice guitar.
It is exactly
Which
like
for
holding
a Gibson,
77 Gibson Les Paul.
a 77 Gibson, for those that don't know, what would be the asking price if it said Gibson on the headstock instead of Greco, even though they're virtually identical?
Yeah, probably $10,000-$11,000.
Yeah. Whereas this was a fraction of that price, easily.
$1,000.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yep.
super cool find. There's another company that had a Ovation. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ovation guitars.
Mm-hmm.
They did a similar thing. They got sued for making what they called guitar Pauls. They were called Ovation GP guitars in the 80s, and they only managed to make between, I think it was 400 and 1,000 are the numbers I've seen thrown around. And they really don't look like Les Pauls. They're not one-to-one like that.
Oh yeah, these are
a
exactly
duplicate.
a Les Paul.
Exactly. These they definitely have their own look, but they were I believe they were sued nonetheless. So they only made about 1,000 of these guitar Pauls. And Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age, that was his main guitar for years and years. That was his drop C guitar, where he would play in drop C. So I love those kind of guitars, and those kind of guitars they're so worth hunting down because you can really find some gems.
You can feel the history. You know?
Yeah. Especially because, man, it's like we're getting to a point with guitars where it's like Gibson and Fender. It's like this monopoly they have on everyone's mind. Like it's like you can only play guitars by them, and it's like, dude, there's tons of like boutique guitar manufacturers that don't even make guitars anymore. Maybe they went out of business. Like there's so many other guitar brands out there that are worth exploring. And case in point.
This is
there's the other one.
1973 SG copy.
So sick. So sick.
I really love this one.
Yeah.
It's like how flat the SGs are.
Which one's
It's
heavier?
just like
Is the Les Paul heavier? And are they both
a little bit? They're about the same because the Les Paul is a very weight relieved one.
Yeah.
There's heavy chambering going on in there.
Are they neck through the body? Like, is it one piece or is it a bolt-on neck?
So this one, the older one, is bolt-on neck. And then the one from 77 is a set-in neck. It's
That's so cool.
The same style as a Gibson.
So cool. Yeah. Sustain machine. Those
that's one of the
bodies.
things. Yeah, you just you play a note and it just stays. It never dies.
That reminds me of Spinal Tap. Like, you can hear the sustain. Oh, can you hear it?
It's true though.
It's true.
That's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah. So yeah, I haven't recorded with either of these guitars yet.
Exciting.
So I thought maybe
is that foreshadowing to what we might do right this moment?
Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, I mean, let's see. We've been here for 2.5 hours. I mean, we don't have to spend a million years, but can just do a little bit of work on it.
Definitely not. Let's do a few. Let's do as much as you're willing to do. Granted, we're towards the back half of the show, so we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on this. But I think everyone would love
a little. Yeah, let me just throw down a little guitar track, and we'll call it a day.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's just do a quick little rhythm guitar.
I think
tracking.
Everyone would love to hear fucking 9 Inch Nails. Why is that?
Yeah, man. Alex says, but does it go to 11?
It does. It does go to 11.
My favorite bit from that movie is when
the fact that it exists.
Right. No, when they're trying to convince themselves to like be satisfied with the all black record cover, and they're trying to like psych themselves into like liking it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like when you think about, and you ask yourself, how much more black could this be? And the answer is none.
None more black.
None more black.
None more black.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
That shit's my favorite fucking movie ever. And the fact that like actual metal bands got pissed about it when it came out makes it even better. I think like Ozzy Osbourne and like fucking I can't remember who else, but there was some like high up like big touring bands that were like, fuck that movie.
It's too real, man.
It's so good.
Right, let me do a little sound check. Oh yeah. Right, let me get.
Already, this just screams 9 Inch Nails. Oh my god.
Yeah,
So
we got a little.
Definitely hear the return of your spring there.
It already is screaming 9 Inch Nails as it is. Oh, that's cool. That's good to hear. I really wish I could share my screen with you guys, but man,
okay.
This is just.
It's okay.
It's gonna die.
It's all right
if I do that.
Everybody knows Trent loves a one drop, man. It's like
right?
He's so overused in 9 Inch Nails.
So yeah, so I got a little temp vocal going on here. You know, the vocal part will be replaced, but I just have this in here as a guide to guide me through the song. So this song is the yes, Alex, after I'm gonna beat you to the punch because I know it's coming fairly coming after what's her name, Alicia Keys. The Wiesel sings Alicia Keys. The next one after that is Wiesel sings 9 Inch Nails.
I'm so excited for this.
The song is Right Where It Belongs. It's the last song on With Teeth.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a big Year Zero fan. That was my 9 Inch Nails in high school. With Teeth, maybe this is a controversial opinion. I listened to a lot of New Rock 107.3, and With Teeth was like, I'm just gonna say it was played out. They played the fuck out of With Teeth. So I was not a huge With Teeth fan just because I listened to the radio too much. But then they put out Year Zero, which was like their like dystopian concept record that had like this weird fucking website tie-in promotion thing that was like this rabbit hole you go down and felt like you were in the Matrix or something. Like, it was fucking really cool. I loved that one. That one was one of my favorites.
I really never got into either of those albums that strongly. Yeah, like pretty much all this stuff that you made after The Fragile. I don't really know that well. I just got introduced to this song in particular, and I think it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And
no, there's
like,
great
well,
shit.
You gotta do that reggae. Have to do that. But yeah, the main one for me is Pretty Hate Machine. That's
the one for sure.
That's my NIN album for sure. But yeah, here let's get a little balance here, and let's let me just show you what I'm working with, and then we can put a guitar track or two.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear this.
Down on here, peoples. How's that level for you?
It could come up a little bit.
Okay.
See the animal in his cage that
Dude.
Are you sure what side you're on? Better not look him too closely in the eye. Are you sure what side glass you are on?
Yeah, sound good?
Yeah.
See the safety of the life you have built. Everything where it belongs.
Andy says, I was going to give you a week off from giving you shit as you've been doing live goals work at Capitol this past week. Fair.
Thank you, Andy. Very
Thanks,
generous
Andy.
of you.
What if everything around you isn't quite as it seems? What if all the
Life
world
goals.
you think you know is an elaborate dream?
It's my favorite lyric.
You look at
It's just great. It's such a good song.
Is it all you want it to be? What if you could look right through the cracks? Would you find yourself afraid to see? What if all the world's inside of your head? Just creations of your own.
That stereo guitar?
Devils and your gods, all the living
Yeah, man.
That's dope. You've
Yeah, so
really
this is
got
my-
a sound of your own. That guitar sound right there is the Wise Owl guitar sound.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's 80s. Like what guitar player are you drawing inspiration from with that sound? Is there a particular guitar player or band? Because it is so, to me, it's so Wise Owl. Like as soon as I hear that, I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck yeah, that's like your sound.
To be honest with you, the thing that it mostly comes from is the availability of gear to me.
Ah,
Really,
so that's like your
seriously,
amp thing.
Yeah. So for most of my career, really, I've gotten by using gear that comes to me either free, like handed down to me, or given to me, or stuff that I've been able to find used, and by used at like some special kind of price, like getting something that's worth $500 for
Right.
$40, you know?
Right.
And so a lot of the sound that I've just gotten used to making and gone after has been just what came out of this random assortment of gear that I got.
Right.
So this sound this is a guitar head. It's a Gallien-Kruger 250 RL.
Okay.
So these came out in, I think, 1991. And yeah, part of what makes them the special thing that they are is this stereo chorus effect.
Oh yeah.
This is what it sounds like without that chorus.
Doesn't sound bad.
No, it
but
doesn't.
That chorus
really
is
great.
Yeah, that chorus is your signature sound, man. Beautiful.
Yeah. So then once I'm going in deeper now, like crafting things, crafting sounds, then I think the two main influences for that guitar sound are Andy Summers from The Police.
Nice.
You know, that's a
That
very
makes sense.
Police
Yeah.
guitar sound. And the way that Tame Impala's synthesizers sound.
Yeah.
Not so much the way that his guitar sounds, but really, I didn't go out and find and get the whole chorus thing and that kind of like tinny guitar thing that, yeah, you're right, is like all over my music. I didn't go out and get it
Right. That's what
because
you
I
have.
had a sound in mind. The origin of it is just, I had no choice.
That's even cooler. That's more in line with how the Guitar Heroes got their sounds. It's just, this is my sound because this is what I have. You know, it's super cool. But it just suits. It also just suits the material you choose to do so well. Like it's, especially like the
Emo reggae.
emo reggae. Yeah, man. Exactly.
Oh man. But yeah, so there's two guitar parts that I want to do for this. So one, if you know the original song, let me play it on my keyboard here. If you know the original song, there's this piano melody that's going through the entire thing. Oops, hang on. There's
That's so fucking Trent.
Yeah. Dude, one of the really amazing things that I learned about Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails music and in doing this is, you know, 'cause you would think most of his music is in a minor key, just the
Right.
way that it feels, you know?
But
I
not.
discovered that there is like a Trent Reznor scale,
Mode.
like a mode
Yeah.
that is, it's not, it's actually not a mode of the major scale.
Right.
But there's the Trent Reznor key that a large percentage of his music is in, and it's actually it has a major third in it.
It's amazing.
So it's basically it's the Mixolydian scale, Mixolydian mode, but with the sixth is minor. So this one is in D Trent key.
D Trent.
Yeah. So it's. Oops.
Wow.
So this whole beginning part, these are all major chords.
Yeah. Yet it already sounds dark as fuck.
See the animal in his
These are all major chords.
Yeah.
Are you sure what side you're on?
You know, I just had a thought. When we do
Yeah.
the Dune EP, which we will, we should do it in the key of Trent.
Oh, that's
The
a good
mode-
idea.
The mode of Trent. That's another just
mode of
cool,
Trent. That's a good idea.
musical kind of idea to give
Mm-hmm.
yourself kind of at the beginning of a project. Is like the box we're playing in is we're gonna do this.
Choose a box, right?
Yeah, choose a box.
Choose a rule, a limitation.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
We're-
totally helps the creative process.
We're gonna do this whole EP in
Yep.
Mixolydian with the minor six, like
Yep.
whatever the fuck they call it. It should just be the Trent mode, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's vaguely Middle Eastern sounding at times, but then that major third, I think it's not all of a sudden. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah, because it's almost like
Right.
it's almost that, but it's not.
It's not. it's so much more interesting.
Yeah.
Fascinating. I love the way that sounds. Anyway,
So yeah, so I want to do just the guitar skank, but it also needs that line.
See the animal in his cage that you built. Are you sure what side you're on?
so good.
Better not look him too closely.
Right? Okay. Well, we should listen to the Eno card, which is
Always first
What is
steps.
it? Always first steps. Yeah. Let's
Yep.
just take takes.
Yep.
Let's just get in there and just do it. Just do it. All right. So I'm gonna record in stereo. What do you think? Do you like the stereo thing or?
I love it. I think it's cool. I it's not something I would do, but that's not my sound. So I love
Yeah.
when you do it because
Okay.
it's so instantly recognizable as your guitar sound.
All right. Always first steps, takes, steps,
Steps.
steps. Okay. Let's try one. I'm gonna do the rhythm guitar.
All right.
First, let me just play through a little bit because I want to choose what pickup to
Okay.
use. That's better.
Yeah. I vote for number 2.
Yeah, number 2.
Animal in his cage that you built. Are you sure what side you're on? Better not look him too close.
All right. Okay.
That's good shit, man. This is such an inspired choice. I love it. Your choices for covers and remixes are so much braver than mine. I think it's great.
I believe that it's helped out by that I'm only doing one at a time.
Sure, that's true. And
That,
you can
like,
sing it yourself.
What one song? It has to be right. Yeah, and it's limited to.
Yeah.
It has to be a song that I can sing. There's plenty of songs that I would like to do, but
Can't sing.
can't sing them.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
See the animal in his cage that you built. Are you sure what side you're on?
stays on the chorus chords there.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Such a good song.
Such a good song.
Yeah.
That's right.
Very just like, yeah, just musically interesting and satisfying in a way that you just don't hear very often. It really is just like his thing. He's like cornered the market on that sound, like dark major, like
Dark major.
very interesting shit.
Okay. Let's nail this outro here.
Nice.
Look right through the cracks. Would you find yourself afraid to see?
Getting up there. Love that. Getting up there on those notes. That was awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah. It's a little vocal thing that goes along with the piano melody.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Um,
What a song. What a good
yeah.
song.
By the way, just a reminder, if you guys are joining the show late or aren't aware, we now have a QR code that you can scan with your phone or hit the link in the bio. Takes you directly to our PayPal account where you can send us a tip if you would like. You can send us $1 or $2 if you enjoy the stream and want to see more streams like this. Once you make a payment, you'll see in the corner over here, you'll see your payment pop up on the screen for everyone to see. So please, if you haven't yet, check that out. We got one. Last one we got was from Sidewalk Andy for $4. So thank you again, Andy.
Here, I need to grab a cable real quick. I'll be
Okay,
right back.
Brandon's grabbing a cable. And likewise, please check out. We've got all of our links in the description. Please check out our Patreon as well. Smash the motherfucking like button, like Andy says. Yeah, and seriously, like liking and subscribing, short of paying us, is like the best thing you could do for our channel because one, it's free. It's not going to cost you anything. And two, it really does help us like draft into that YouTube algorithm fast lane that helps more people see the show. So yeah, at the bare minimum, give us a like, give us a subscribe, especially because we're at like 820 subscribers or so. So we're really close to 1,000 subscribers. And once we get 1,000, we're actually opened up to being able to monetize our content on YouTube, which is pretty cool. Who knows if we'll actually be able to do that because we never fucking play anything that's monetizable. But it'll still be open to us. We might be able to do it. So we're looking forward to that. And I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm going to do some kind of 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I don't know what it's going to be, but I think I'm going to give away some kind of piece of gear. I might give away a piece of gear from my studio. It might be merch. It might be both. I'm not sure yet.
These shot glasses that Groove Stranger makes.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be some Groove Stranger shot glasses. That's a good idea, actually.
He's like, wait, what?
He's like, fuck. Fuck. No. Yeah, I'm gonna do some kind of giveaway, and it's gonna be some kind of random drawing. And as we get closer to that, I'll divulge more details about how you can enter in for that. But definitely 1,000 subscriber giveaways coming. So keep subscribing, keep liking, keep smashing, and such.
Smash.
Smash.
I am. Let's see.
Hey, look at that. We just got a new payment from Alexis something. I think. I can't read it because I'm blind. I don't have my glasses on, but let's see.
Yeah. Like Simensky.
Alexandru Simescu. Thank you.
Is that
I believe that's Alex.
is that Romanian?
Belgium. That's where he's from.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah,
So much.
thank you so much. $5.
Tip.
Appreciate that.
Bye.
Killing it.
Yeah, man. We give him tips and he gives us tips.
That's
That's
how
a
the
fair
world should
exchange.
work, shouldn't it?
That's a fair exchange.
Come on.
Yeah.
Tip for tip.
Okay, I am getting my
Touch.
wah pedal going. My little crybaby wah pedal here. I
Touch.
believe that this little guitar part could use a little waka flocka on it.
Oh, that's Alex Simesky from the tune we played earlier. It's that Alex. Thank you, Alex.
And it's Romanian.
And it's
living in-
Romanian.
okay. Oh, that's why you got that
Brandon.
Budapest connection.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Thank you, Alex. You're the man. We really appreciate that. Yeah, like we
I
said
don't know
earlier,
much about Romania, but I do know that everyone's names ends in a U. That's kind of
Oh.
the only thing that I know.
It's embarrassing when I try to pronounce people's names on this show. No one's like named like Joe Bob, like something fucking stupid that I can just say correctly. Everyone has a name because all of our amazing, awesome, great fans are based in
These
Europe,
fucking names.
and I'm just a big dumb American oaf with a tiny little fucking hamburger brain. I've
who
got a
used to live in
McDonald's quarter
Europe.
pounder up here. You know, it's nothing special. And so when I see these names, I'm just like, oh fuck, here we go. Like, goddamn, I'm gonna fucking make a fool of myself.
That's all right.
Alex, I only said
I-
Budapest because it said something about that in the payment, but it doesn't matter. All right,
Oh, Budapest is in Hungary. Oh, sorry.
Jimi
See?
Hendrix has stepped
See?
up.
That's really all that I really don't know that much.
Yeah, I don't either.
Budapest not even in Romania. Okay, that's
Budapest.
cool. Budapest. What am I saying here? You know, one of the things that I've noticed from traveling around is Americans, we're not unique in the way that we barely know anything about other cultures. But the thing that makes us unique is for some reason we feel like we're supposed to know a lot about other people's cultures. And we feel bad when we don't.
Ah,
And I've noticed most other people around the world, they don't know shit about other people's cultures, but they don't feel like they're supposed to.
well, I think it's because we're like Team America World Police. So if we're gonna have that role, we should at least kind of know.
We get involved and
Yeah.
we're trying to compensate, like a
exactly.
little guilt thing.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man.
That's I think that's why Americans have that kind of guilt complex. About it. Ooh,
Yeah, I want to try something like this.
very cool.
So this melody goes throughout the chorus and throughout the ending. I'm not going to take the time on the stream right now to go in and learn the parts. I'm going to finish this later and come back, but I'm just going to track the verse portion of this
Got it.
melody. So it's not a complete thing, but you know, we want to hang out. We don't want to do this stream with no music. I'm feeling the vibe, and so let's play what we got
Let's
while
do
we're
it.
together. Let's see what's going on in the chat here.
Oh, we missed one from
Oh,
Andy. Nate's gonna have one good looking lip slug next week. Now I fucking really am. Now I'm gonna trim my
Lip
beard even
slug.
shorter. I'm gonna get some I'm really gonna buy some mustache wax this week. I'm gonna own it.
Do it, man. Go for it. Alex's
Thanks,
neighbor
Andy.
country. You were in the zone. Alex, others don't know shit about other countries. Exactly. See? Yep.
That makes us feel better, Alex. Thank
Exactly.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do have Brandon's right though. Americans, we do have this kind of weird complex where we
Yeah.
feel like we're supposed to know everything about
Like,
everything.
I'm supposed to be able to pronounce your Romanian ass name perfectly, even though
Yeah.
I've never met a Romanian before. So how could I possibly know how to pronounce it? But we feel like we're supposed to know.
Yeah.
And it's like offensive if I don't.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't.
Alex, gonna have to sign out. Thanks again, and hope to catch your next stream. Thank you, Alex. Thank you for
Thank you,
giving
Alex.
us amazing music to listen to, and
good work.
thank you for the tip. And we look forward to seeing you next time. So thank you again for everything. Appreciate it.
Let's see. I'm gonna do the same thing. Let's pick up.
Okay.
Pick up. I don't know. It's between the last two.
Here's what I'll say. I think more so than pickup selection, it's the way you're picking it. I liked when you were picking the notes individually better than the hammer-on style
Okay.
that you were doing. Yeah, I think that's more reggae.
Totally.
Yeah,
You're right. You're mad right.
yeah.
All right, let's try it again. Well, in that case, it's got to be this one.
Yeah, that's super percussive and rhythmic. I like everything about that right there. That just grooves so hard.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Yeah, that's good.
Right
shit.
where it belongs. Okay, let's track it. And like I said before, there's another freaking brilliant genius melody that's happening in the chorus.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna do that
It's like
later.
so it's a different counter melody thing.
Yep.
Cool.
Through the whole song, there's just this piano going bang ba ding, like keeping the same exact rhythm.
Yeah.
And it just like follows and just weaves this like perfect little. like sews the chords and the vocal melody together. It's
Wow.
genius.
That's
Genius.
really cool.
This whole song is it's 4 things,
Mm-hmm.
4 parts: the chords, the vocal melody, that piano melody that never stops,
Mm-hmm.
and then the bass just doing this.
Oh, wow. Are you going to recreate that kind of drone somehow?
I've thought about it.
Because the
I
bass,
have
your
I have
bass
exper-
should probably do its own reggae thing.
Yeah, exactly. I experimented with doing some kind of distorted like guitar or bass or synthesizer, recreating the drone thing exactly,
Mm-hmm.
but it makes it very not reggae. So let me play for you the thing that I will probably end up doing for the bass is a synth bass
Oh,
that
wow. I
that
love
is
that.
playing. Check this out. Whoops.
Wow.
See the
Something like that.
That's cool.
That's like a little temp thing that I put
Yeah.
down there just to capture the idea. So yeah, it'll probably be something like that.
Very cool.
But dirtied up and made more gritty to kind of match the spirit, match the vibe of the original bass part.
Yeah.
Another cool thing about this song is there's no drums in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just these constant quarter notes on the bass.
Oh, I didn't realize there was no drums. I definitely remember this song, but I don't. I didn't realize there was no drums in it.
But the whole thing is very, very swung.
Oh.
There's a heavy swing to the rhythm in the way that the piano melody goes and the way that the vocal melody goes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's really genius, man.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna come back in, do the next section of the song.
Sweet.
find yourself, find yourself a
Whoops, I started one phrase too early.
find yourself, find yourself a
Oops, I was doing the hammer-ons.
Ah. Yeah.
Don't
I
do
think,
that.
I think the picked part is better
Yeah, you're right.
for sure.
Find yourself, find yourself a What if all the world's inside of your head? Just creations of your own. Devils and the gods, all the living and the dead. And you're really all alone. You can live in this illusion. You can choose to believe. You keep looking, but you can't find the woods while you're hiding in the trees. What if everything around?
Realized about halfway through that I have the original bass muted.
Oh,
There we go.
still sounds good. There you go.
Okay. So now... Oh, that's it. All through the whole rest of the song is a different melody
Nice.
that I will cover later.
Nice.
All right, y'all.
Wow.
There's a little music for you.
A little music. I think next week, I'd love to do more of a music-heavy show. I've been putting off starting the next Black Market EP, and the next one we're doing is Blue Velvet. So,
Velvet.
yeah, so we're going to get into some heavy Lynchian nightmare vibes next week. I'm going to try and... I think next week it'd be cool if we tracked on the Roy Orbison tune from that movie. So I think that's what we'll do next week. So you guys have that to look forward to. Let's see.
What's
I'm really
what Roy
enjoying.
Orbison song is it?
It's In Dreams, the Roy Orbison song.
In Dreams.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying my talking being having some music played under it.
Yeah, I got you.
It's
I got you,
beautiful.
dog.
Yeah, so that about wraps up the show for this week. Check us out on patreon.com/blackmarketdub if you'd like some exclusive Wise Owl content you can get there, as well as participate in helping me craft artwork for the next EPs and have an exclusive community to talk about Black Market and all the stuff we're doing and all the fun stuff we have planned. Likewise, you can subscribe to us on Bandcamp at blackmarketdub.bandcamp.com/subscribe for $5 and above a month. Get all of our music in your inbox every month when we put out new EPs. Loving these live streams, says the Studio Dankster. Thanks for watching,
Thanks,
Studio
Studio
Dankster. Good to see you. Please speak up in the chat more often if you're watching the show. We'd love to interact and talk with everybody in the chat.
That's right, Dankst.
Thank you to everybody who submitted music that we played this week. Like I said before, you can find all the links to their music in the description of the video below. We will be back next Thursday, regularly scheduled time.
That's right.
Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Central Time is when the pre-show stream starts, where we listen to music, hang out, shoot the shit in the chat, and then the regular show starts at noon.
And the daylight savings just happened in the U.S., so I don't know what time did the stream start in Europe, you guys, in the UK?
God. Yeah, if anybody missed the stream this
I
week,
need you guys to
because of
tell
this
us what time
stupid
it started.
We're working on getting rid of daylight savings time here in the U.S. I guess it's closer than ever to being gone. So.
Yeah, probably haven't like 50, 60 years it'll happen probably.
Exactly.
It started at 6 p.m. The show started.
Yeah, usually
Andy,
it starts
in Germany?
at 7. So yeah, it definitely got
Okay.
screwed up. Anyway, we'll be back next
Oh
week.
shit! Yeah, we didn't even give you guys a heads up about that. I didn't
Shitty
even notice
fucking
until right now.
stupid daylight
We had a
savings
time
time.
change in the U.S.
Sorry, guys. Sorry if
Yeah,
you guys
sorry
missed the
about that,
show.
y'all.
Sorry. Luckily,
Wow,
you can
well,
rewatch it.
Yeah, thanks for even more so for being here.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh shit!
Anyway, yeah,
okay,
we'll
on
be
the
back
27th they're gonna change. Also, well, okay, so just keep an eye on your local time zone and how it matches up
Yeah.
with us here in
whatever
the U.S.
clusterfuck time zone we're all in.
Yeah. So yeah, the way you can be sure of it, whatever time it is at when it's 10 a.m. and Central Time in the USA, that's when the pre-show starts.
Yeah,
When it's noon Central Time in the USA, that's when the show starts.
exactly. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Wise Owl, Brandon,
Yeah, buddy.
amazing job at Capitol. So proud of you. Great job on
Thanks,
the Nine
man.
Inch Nails tune as well. Any passing closing thoughts for our audience before we head out?
Love you guys.
Yeah,
Good to be with you again.
absolutely.
And yeah, look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank y'all for
right.
watching. Bye bye.